let's just make sure we're set up.
If this music is any indicator
I know, right?
for what time we're gonna have. And Rand, I was reading your chats. So excited for this. I know someone mentioned in the chat previously, said it looked like Doki Doki Literature Club, but in my opinion, it's like the complete opposite. It takes itself completely seriously, and it's just a dark and bleak look on the world, with both characters feeling very, very real. And that, I don't know, that's pretty
Yeah.
compelling to me.
Yeah, honestly.
So we're playing a lot in the dark today. Hey Sully.
Hey, Sully.
And this was on recommendation from one of our members, Rand. We're both very excited for this.
Yes.
Any compelling story, whether it's in visual novel form or not, but this is gonna be special.
It will. Red said the music is ugh, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drenched in sorrow.
Yeah, honestly. Already.
Multiple endings, a lot of choices, maybe. I don't know. I'm ready for it. Madeline's actually controlling this one, so
we'll see.
yeah. No, I'm just.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
We already have a hard time making decisions, anyways.
Yeah.
Like
we do.
dialogue choices and whatnot. So I don't know. This could get intense.
Yeah, honestly.
Whew. Okay. Let's just go. Let's just go. Oh yeah, I'll put this here. Hope you get a satisfying ending, because I know some might feel more like a game over than a real ending. Okay. At least we have a heads up.
Okay, there was a saying.
The world is one big, intricate machine. With the people as its cogs and the law as its screws, the countless pieces connect with each other in order to operate. Through continuous refining on top of repeated collapse and reconstruction, modern society is eventually formed. The more complicated a machine appears to be, the more delicate it really is. One loose screw would stop the whole thing. One failed detail would lead to collapse. Therefore, we must be ever vigilant and watchful and remove every single problematic piece. Oh, interesting. Mommy needs to head out and take care of something, so have dinner without me. You can eat whatever you like. If Daddy calls, just tell him I'm in a class, okay? The laughter of an unknown man, hurried footsteps, and the sound of an engine starting.
Oh no.
It was at that moment I heard the sound of dissonance from the machine. I'm already crying.
I know,
No.
right?
It was very cold. I felt a freezing chill as I regained consciousness. It wasn't so much that I felt cold when I awoke, but that an icy draft had caused me to wake up. As I opened my eyes, they were met by darkness. All I could make out was that I was in some sort of small room. This place was unknown to me. It wasn't my room, nor was it a hotel room.
Oh, hey, Darkrai.
My head hurt as if I had a hangover. I tried to stand up in order to find some sort of light switch, but all I felt for my legs was numbness. Hey, Darkrai.
Oh, jeez. Okay. This is already...
Okay, I can make out something. There's like a light of some sort,
Yeah.
maybe a phone. The smell of cigarettes and mold in the air was nauseating. As I fought to regain my bearings, I realized that something was not quite right. What happened to me? A sense of unease overcame me. I tried to calm down and organize my thoughts. I recalled that I was on my way home from cram school. More school.
やっと起きたか、お坊ちゃま。
Finally up, rich boy?
Oh, God.
Who are... An unfamiliar voice rang in my ears right when I opened my mouth to ask. Oh, we have stamina?
Oh, my God.
Out of nowhere, a foot swiftly sunk itself into my stomach, launching me toward the wall. Jeez. I felt my stomach turn and I almost vomited. However, all that came out was a dry fit of coughing. I couldn't stop spasming on the ground. All that was on my mind was the intense pain, yet I was also too scared to make any sound. Who is she? Where am I? What is she doing? What happened? My body hurts. Countless questions went through my mind, but before I could speak, I heard that cold voice again.
誰が喋っていいって言った？
Who gave you permission to talk? Jeez. Oh, and I saw you can press Y for auto.
Okay.
There was no change in her expression as she watched me struggle. There was nothing but a look of pure animosity in her eyes.
おとなしくすることね。私はあんたに手加減するほど忍耐強くないし、するつもりもない。わかった。
Did she? Okay, just keep going. Whenever she voice acts, I'll just let her do her thing and read it. I struggled to stand up, then came to the shocking realization that my limbs weren't numb. They were tightly tied with rope. I struggled against it, but the rope was far tighter than I imagined.
Rand said she might be my favorite character just ever. Definitely up there, top 2 for sure.
you like the unhinged characters. The ones holding us against our will. Hey everyone, I'm going to try to play Persona Phantom X on my computer. Hopefully this game is pretty cool. And now I'm invested in the Persona franchise. You and us both.
Honestly.
You and us both. Save us a spot. Kinky. Kinky. You didn't tell us. What if this was just a kinky game the whole time?
Oh my god, it's complete smut.
We'll save a spot for us, Jedi. We'll be there. We'll play Phantom X eventually.
Yeah. Auto is not that good because it quickly skips the non-voice stuff.
Okay, ignore auto, man. I don't want to do that. That would.
Yeah.
Okay, Parf. I'm gonna. She doesn't need help. Wow, you're getting large. Here you go. Okay. She'll be back. Again.
人の話がわからないの？それとも撃たれなければ学べない系？
You only respond after a good beating? Rich boy? Okay. Bitch. Another kick made me almost scream and curse at her. Okay, so we're in the perspective of a guy. Okay. However, knowing now was not the time to confront her. I grit my teeth to force myself to stay calm. Anything I said at that moment could be fatal. I had to grasp the situation first. Suddenly she got closer. Not realizing her intention, my body instinctively tried to move away from her touch.
怖いか？
Yeah, a little bit. Noticing my slight reaction, she gave a snort of contempt. The last shred of defiance disappeared as soon as the blade touched my body. There was no chance of victory, no matter how I resisted.
Oh god.
I waited for her next move. All you could hear in the quiet room was our shallow breathing. The tip of the blade moved. Oh, I hear the.
Yeah.
It moved across my skin, making a small cut. This is a kink. My tensed up nerves were extra sensitive, detecting the exact temperature of the air, the crudeness of the rope, and the sharpness of the blade. There was a certain feeling of warmth from the blood that flowed out from the wound and down my arm. Nevertheless, my mind was extremely clear. Kidnapping, human trafficking, organ trade. A few possibilities came to mind, but there was no way to determine which.
身代金が手に入るまで付き合いは長くなるだろうから言っておくけど。
Ransom? Okay, she definitely kidnapped us.
Yeah.
And she's just holding us here.
She did call us rich boy a few times.
Oh, yeah, true, yeah.
She's probably, I guess, wanting to get money in exchange.
逃げないこと。許可なしに喋らないこと。
Humans?
Don't try to run or talk without permission. I don't mind breaking a few bones. Humans can handle a few just fine after all.
She sounds so detached.
Yeah, you hear me?
I nodded quietly. I couldn't digest all the information at once, but one key word stood out. Ransom.
Yes. Yeah, Jedi King said we should play Phantom X on stream someday.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. That would actually be fun.
It would.
The blade left my skin, and I swore I heard a little sigh escape from her. There was a sound of light footsteps moving towards the wall. Before I could even feel confused, the glaring light broke through the darkness of the room. Ah! Jesus! Oh. Okay. Not able to adjust to the sudden brightness, it took me quite a while to finally open my eyes. What came into view was totally foreign to me. The room was roughly 300 square feet in size. The wall that was meant for painting was now modeled. Its original color no longer visible. Time had had its way with the room, causing everything to become decayed, but be it the wooden chair, desk, or bed, the resulting smell of mold in the air was reminiscent of ruins you'd find in a movie. The owner of this place stood near the window with a taunting smirk on her lips.
Never lived in a place like this, did you, rich boy?
The words were clearly provocative. Bearing the burning pain, I tried to observe her through the lamplight. So she doesn't mind us seeing her face.
Yeah, she's not worried about that.
We're not going to get out of this alive. She was a young-looking woman. She wore a dark overcoat and a scarf. Her shoulder-length hair casually scattered behind her back, with bangs almost covering her eyes.
Yeah, Sully said, ouch, flashbang, and the light came on.
Yeah. Oh, this is Rand's profile pic, right?
Oh, yeah, it is Rand's profile pic.
Also, if our window is in a bad spot, let us know. Like our camera.
Yeah.
Okay, you can. Surprisingly, she wore no face mask or helmet, nor made any attempt to avoid my staring. She didn't seem to mind her face being seen. Yeah. It's usually a bad sign.
Yeah.
She didn't have the stereotypical look of a criminal. Despite a hint of unease on her meager face, there wasn't an ounce of guilt within those dark brown pupils of hers that stared straight into me. This is how we met.
No, it's not.
You know what? Hate people? Like me? Rich people? She hate rich people.
Yeah.
She was talking to herself, ignoring how pale my face was, and making no attempts to elaborate. This was not a conversation, but a simple declaration. Who was she? Where was I? What did she want? Why did she do such a thing? Countless questions circled around in my brain, but not a single sound came out of my mouth when I opened it. What did eventually come out was something totally unrelated. Why me? The unfamiliar, dry voice sounded like some rough sandpaper. So sad. Why? The girl mumbled my question next to the window. The light reflected off the girl's face, orange spots of light scattered across her messy hair, dancing like fire. She hung her head in contemplation. It took her a while to raise her head again with a grin. No particular reason? As though it was only natural. The empty voice held no emotions, but instead a malevolent sense of pleasure. The world is just... Isn't that your favorite line? Seeing the shock in my eyes, she chuckled.
Is that something we say often, you think?
May, I guess. Sully, that's a big word. With that mocking statement... Although the voice acting, it gets better and better. With that mocking statement, the curtain was raised. The curtain was raised. The curtain was raised for this kidnapping incident.
Survive the beginning.
Okay. Oh, day one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go ahead and save.
Oh, it auto-saves.
I'll move this over on this side. Might be a little better. Anytime you see the word quit,
I
you're
know,
like,
I'm
oh.
I can't.
Oh, I guess I could look right here. Do have a guide on all of the actions and choices to get the true ending if you ever needed that later. Oh, that's cool.
Oh, yeah, that might be helpful.
So there is a true ending. Okay, I got you.
Oh, hey, Elmer.
Oh, hey, what's up, Elmer?
Alright.
I stood in a world of darkness. There was no sky or ground, only endless darkness. A dream. I realized amidst all the fuzziness that I was in a dream, yet I couldn't control my thoughts. The intermittent noise was annoying, like a radio with poor signal. Suddenly the ground began to slowly sink as if it were quicksand. I tried to move my legs, but I realized I couldn't move.
Franny said, I don't think you say, by the way, but it should be fine for now. Hopefully, LOL.
Already off to a good start.
Okay,
My heels, my knees, and then my arms. The darkness gradually devoured my body. I heard that vivid disdain before my vision was overtaken. I hate people like you. It's our new friend.
our new friend.
How many days are we going to spend here?
I wonder.
Still half asleep, I opened my eyes. The room before me was still the same unfamiliar one.
What was that note that got added?
I don't know. Oh, okay. Situation. Woman. Oh, Elmer, this is a light in the dark.
Okay.
It's a visual novel that's going to have us questioning everything. I'm pretty sure. A girl with long hair and sharp eyes. She didn't seem to be older than 30. Her pale skin didn't appear to be healthy. And she wore a clearly outdated overcoat and scarf. Clearly outdated.
Clearly outdated.
Jeez. I still didn't know who she was. If only I could get her name at least. Why did she pick me as the target? You're rich. What time is it now? I couldn't tell the time. I did see a clock earlier, but,
Yeah.
you know, I needed to escape. Untying the rope was my only option. The only exits were the door and the window. Was there really nowhere else? I should try to converse with her. A better relationship could be beneficial. Okay.
Okay.
Win her over.
Yeah.
Okay. I read that one. So if it wasn't a dream... A long sigh couldn't relieve the depression in my chest, and my heart sunk to the pit of my chest. Just trying to look at the time there. I was kidnapped. What was their objective? What should I do? My mind was all blank. There was more confusion than fear.
Sully said Overcoat was so last season.
Yeah. It's been said that in the presence of a threat, you either become petrified, try to flee, or try to fight. Reflexively, stopping your actions to avoid catching predators' attention was probably the best way to describe how I felt. I tried to pull the rope, but nothing happened. The headache was hard to bear. The pain medication I usually kept on me was in my bag, which was out of reach in my current state. But it's there? Okay.
I guess it's in the room, yeah.
Damn it.
Rand said, win her off and don't say anything to piss her off. LOL. I'd probably think the same if I was kidnapped.
Yeah, I'm gonna try, like, we should try to answer these questions and whatnot, like, as if we were in the situation. Like,
Yeah.
the most likely thing we are to do.
Like you wouldn't want to piss him off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mind did get clear after sleeping. Everything that happened yesterday still felt like a dream, but the reality of it was right before my eyes. It's almost 6 o'clock. Morning light brightened up the room. I could see the peeling paint on the wall and the old pieces of furniture. There was nothing but decay, as though it was untouched for a long time. This looks like the main menu screen for The Last of Us. That's what this looks like.
Yeah. Darkrai said, damn, music pretty good so far. Yeah.
That's what we were saying. Right when we booted it up, we were just like, it was accompanied with this, like, little piano motif, and I was like, damn.
Yeah. So it's that kind of game.
Yeah. Was it an abandoned, empty house, or do they actually live here? That's what I was wondering. Maybe
I
she,
wondered that too.
maybe she lives here. The kidnapper was nowhere to be found. I couldn't hear anything, and thus couldn't tell how many people were around. Yeah, Elmer, I think this game is sad. I think this
Yeah, I
game
think it
is
will
really
be
sad.
sad.
Perhaps shouting for help might catch someone's attention, but the kidnapper might also be right outside the door. Okay, don't yell for help.
No.
Contemplate the situation a bit.
Wait, this indicates remaining time available. Use the left stick.
Or directional buttons to make your selection. Oh, you're timed.
Oh god,
What's
I don't
gonna
know
be?
that I can handle
No,
this.
we need that. We need a time limit.
Yeah.
Let's contemplate the situation.
I don't want to piss her off by yelling.
Yeah. My yelling might not be heard, and I could get in big trouble if it got the kidnapper's attention instead. She's got a weapon, we know that. I can still feel the pain from where I got kicked the day before. I tried to make myself a little more comfortable and relaxed my back by leaning on the wall. First, my physical condition. My hands were tied up to the point that I had no space to move around, let alone release the rope. My body overall was fine, but I couldn't really rest in this position. I had to save my energy to escape. So where to start? What time is it? We can see that.
Yeah.
Speaking of the time, it was currently... The clock on the wall pointed to 5:54 a.m. Cram school ended at 9:30 p.m., so I was probably kidnapped around 10 p.m. I was asleep for maybe 7 hours, enough time to drive from Taipei to Kaohsiung. Pronunciation, sorry. I didn't know how long I'd been out. It might have been a whole day. How long could the medicine be effective? No longer than a day, right? If the medicine was really that potent, there should also be some strong side effects, yet my body only felt like it had taken a nap. Before I could think further, I heard footsteps outside. I couldn't help but tense up. That made me tense up.
Yeah, it did me too.
Who was that? Who do you think it is? Oh, yes, it's our queen. Oh, shit. Of hell. Before I made up my mind on how to respond, I saw the girl pushing open the door. Okay.
Oh, she's got a knife.
Holding the knife and wearing the same unstylish overcoat and scarf, she stared at me. I think it's quite stylish. I tried to look back calmly, but I could still clearly feel my rapid heartbeat. Ay, ay, ay. Finally up, rich boy? I looked at her silently, trying to guess her intention from her words and her actions. I was in an unfamiliar situation, and there was too many questions still unanswered.
Okay. Oh, okay. Elmer's leaving. Good night.
Okay, good night.
Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah, wishing us luck. We'll need it.
Yeah, for real.
We'll need it, thanks. The location, the time, their objectives, any sort of info would help. Once your daddy pays up. Okay.
You're free once your daddy pays up, so stay quiet.
Okay.
Otherwise, I can't guarantee what'll happen to you.
Do you mean to read her lines?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna let her do it, but after she told that to me, she sat next to the window and lit a cigarette. It was easier to see her face in the sunlight. Her neglected long hair was messy, and her long bangs almost blocked her vision. But she has cool hair. Her pale skin wasn't makeup, more like something she was born with, or the result of poor health. Or maybe drug abuse?
Oi.
Hey. The girl's voice broke my train of thought. She stared coldly at me, with the cigarette still in her hand. I'll make a few things clear. When I contact your dad, don't talk, don't move, don't have any funny ideas. Okay, I believe her. Like, yeah, she'll break this. She's already cut us a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's necessary to read over her lines, to be honest. Digesting her every word, I pondered what to say. Trying to scare me. Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Don't you agree? Got
Yeah.
it. I'll play by your rules. Still assessing the best way to deal with her. I should avoid triggering her for my own safety.
Main character already assuming things about her. Oh no.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, honestly, he was like drug abuse and all this other stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point. Do better. I'm free once you get the money, right? Okay. Do we believe her? I don't have
know.
any
We've
reason
seen her
not to.
face, though.
Yeah. Her nonchalant answer proved my guess. Not that her assent meant anything.
Marian said, by the way, the voice acting was added later. I think this was a Kickstarter / crowdfunded.
Oh, that's really cool.
That is cool.
If a kidnapper's promise actually meant anything, then even world peace wouldn't be a pipe dream.
コウハオちゃん、18歳。コウイエ会長の一人息子で、住まいは中世色セッションに。
She had this planned out.
Yeah, she was targeting us.
So we are a rich kid.
Yeah.
Son of a CEO. Okay.
And she had our address.
Yeah.
普段は一人暮らし。朝10時前後に朝食を買いに出かける。夜8時に近所の公園でランニング。
She's been following us.
火曜と木曜は塾
Or
通い。
keeping tabs somehow.
夜9時に終わって、毎回工事中の路地を近道として使う。
That must be where she picked us up at.
Oh, the
The
shortcut.
Yeah.
That's a possibility. She lazily read my information, and from time to time paused to look at me as though anticipating something. I wonder what she wants this money for. That's what I'm curious about. Quite comprehensive. She grunted after noticing my lack of reaction. Leaking personal information wasn't new, but it was still uncomfortable to hear someone knowing your daily routine like they knew their own garage. Is that what it said?
Yeah, I accidentally clicked the back bumper. Okay, there we go.
Okay. Oh, that's okay. If she knew that much about me, did that mean an acquaintance of mine was behind all this? My best attempts to remember still failed. Hard to believe she had any reason to pick me. No one but my parents and the building security knew my schedule, and none of them could be the leaker. First things first. You don't have to keep my feet tied up, you know. I wouldn't be making demands.
Yeah.
I have no intention of running. Even if you don't believe me, my hands are still tied. Also, you have a knife. I couldn't run away like this even if I wanted to. It's really uncomfortable being tied up like this, and it's just... She's gonna kill us. She interrupted me. She squatted before me and looked me right in the eye.
Oh, God.
The voice acting is good. And you can kind of tell that he's used to having things his way. I mean, he's not in a position to be like, I'm so uncomfy.
Yeah.
Like some big shot. Make you more uncomfortable? See? Why? What a messed up personality. I felt her animosity but didn't want to explain it to her. Too many people found society to be unfair, always blaming their failures on someone else, thinking they were victims of the system. If it was that easy to convince her, she wouldn't have kidnapped someone in the first place. It's easy for him to say.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I assume he was born into, you know, prosperity.
Yeah.
Noticing my silence, she tried to provoke me.
Look away.
What happens, I wonder, if we run out of time? We'll probably find that out. I wasn't dumb enough to argue with someone with my hands tied up, especially if said person was holding a knife. Yeah, good boy. Loser. I agree. I think her last name might be Magnon.
She says loser.
Why do I feel like that's an inside joke?
Yeah, no, right.
Loser. Seeing as how I didn't respond, she sneered and lost interest in me, returning to the window.
Okay, so Ryan said it'll pick one at random if you didn't tilt the stick to either choice.
Okay. Okay.
Oh god, there's so much pressure. I have to choose so fast.
Are you good with playing?
Yeah.
Still? Okay, okay. I'm just making sure. So she went back to the window. Got another note.
Saving.
So what now? As in Luigi.
No.
Oh, I know what you're talking about now. You know what I'm talking about?
What is it?
You know. You remember.
Oh god. Sorry. Oh no. Oh my god. You remember.
Our dad is the CEO of... Never mind.
Yeah,
I can't.
Yep. Okay. Ends there.
This is why I like you, Sully.
Yeah, okay. You want to chat with the kidnapper?
What does rest do? Remaining actions 3?
It said it'll restore stamina.
Oh, okay. Do we... What's it? Can we check our stamina? Or did you
not
see
right
it?
now.
Look at the notes. Press the X right quick.
Oh, there it is.
Time is now and tying the rope. Go to the woman. It looks like it has like a little... Okay, her animosity against rich people made it impossible to communicate with her. Okay. It's very narrow-minded.
Do you want to chat?
I guess so. She's just standing by the window.
So, one of the topics...
What's your name? What do you want?
I'm between what's your name and what do you want?
Ask her what do you want? What do you want? Okay. Yes, I'm an idiot.
So you have 3 action points to do things. So sometimes you can ask her multiple things, and sometimes if you think one of those will just annoy her, you can ignore that choice and choose to rest or do something else.
Okay, we'll definitely use that. Money, of course. Enjoy kidnapping people. She grunted in disdain. Then her mouth broke into a naughty smirk. Oh, did we earn a cut for that? Because she hates rich people.
Nick says visual novel time.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is.
That was good chili mac, by the way.
Yeah, the chili mac was good. We actually, we tasted it on the way home, and then we ended up eating it while we were cooking our food.
While we were cooking our food. Yeah, we ate all of it.
Yeah.
Okay,
そうでもしないと世界があんたたちのために回っていると勘違いされ続けてはたまらないからね。
Okay. Her words were still aggressive. I still had no idea why she was so mad. Everything else aside, just the fact I didn't even know her in person made it bizarre that she had such a grudge. Who do you think you are? So what happens after you get the money? Do that one. So what happens after you get the money? Yeah. Kidnapping is naturally for money, but money for what? Will they ask for more? Escape abroad? And most importantly, do they intend to let me go? That's what she said.
あんたならどうする?
What do you think?
Nick said, hell yeah, glad y'all enjoyed it.
She raised the corner of her mouth and returned the question. Her non-committal smile was creepy.
まあ、あんたには関係ない話だ。
Okay. She's not going to tell us, at least right
あんたの
now.
親父が早く金を出すようお祈りでもしていろ。どうせ。
Did she say the amount yet?
No, she hasn't said how much.
I hope so too. Bringing this up covered my mind in shadow, but I couldn't do anything about it.
We have 2 actions. Do you want to ask her what her name is?
I kind of do. What's your name? The girl was staring at her phone and didn't hear my question, so I repeated it.
Koi.
Oh, she told us.
I'm surprised.
Huang Yi? She carelessly said 2 syllables before suddenly shutting up. She raised her head and looked at me cautiously. Was that a mistake? Say again? I secretly remembered the partial answer, but acted as though I heard nothing. She didn't mean to. She
Yeah.
frowned in disbelief, biting her lip and glancing at me.
あんたが警察に通報するときに、ちゃんと私の名前を言えるよう。わざわざ
Maybe
教
we
え
can
て
win
あげ
her
るほ
over
ど
then.
バカだと
Yeah.
思
Or,
ってい
you
る
know, like, have an understanding of some sort.
Yeah.
Maybe. Despite the situation.
How should I address you then?
Yeah, yeah. How should I address you, then? Oh, God. Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Hearing my response, she burst into laughter.
私をどう呼ぶかって？あんた頭おかしいんじゃない？
Yeah, a little bit. We're,
そんな
yeah.
のどうでもいいだろ。友達を作りたくてこれをやったんじゃないし。
I'm not here to make friends. Okay. Okay. So what now? Can you check that note, if you don't mind? Okay, so her last name was Huang, but I still had no recollection of her.
Oh, it's like going to the top. Okay.
And these are seem like to kind of guide us in the direction we need to go, as far as like figuring things out.
Yeah.
Crossing things out as we do it. Maybe, kind
Yeah.
of.
Okay, now I'm gonna rest because the only other chat option is to ask her to untie me.
Yeah, and obviously that's not gonna work.
Yeah, so rest now?
Yeah, I'd say so. I feel fine. After our rest, I should ask for more info. I feel on edge.
I know, right?
Are we dreaming? Oh, I wasn't sure much time had passed, and I'd grown hungry. For chili mac. My head still hurt a little, and my tied-up limbs only made me moody.
Brand said you're doing good. You're doing pretty good so far.
Okay. She just sat there, staring at her phone. She kept dialing some numbers with an anxious expression.
Oh my god, what if she didn't calculate the fact that our dad doesn't love us and he's not gonna give her money?
Oh, God.
And he's just like, keep him. He's a disappointment anyways.
Jeez.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's so tense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, oh my god, what if though? What if she can't get in touch with our dad?
I didn't have to pee before stream, but now I do.
Go ahead.
It's the game.
Yeah, I love the music too. It's so nice.
Oh, that's so hot.
It is really hot. Oh, Rand said especially a certain song that plays later. Okay, I'm excited to hear that. Yeah, Sully's gonna be like, Dad's just gonna be like, sweet, glad he has life insurance and hang up.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly. He's like, joke's on you, I'm gonna make money out of this.
Yeah.
CEO mindset. Okay.
Why don't you eat something?
お腹空いてない。
Not hungry. Did you already eat this morning?
言いたいことがあれば言ってみれば？それとも回りくどい言い方しないと喋れないの？
Ask for my oatmeal. She replied coldly, staring at me with a certain annoyance.
I feel like she lied when she said she wasn't hungry.
Yeah. You're projecting. Hey, chill.
Chill is not a good thing to say, I feel like, to an angry woman.
Yeah. I feel like it's the worst thing to say to someone when they're angry is, calm down.
Yeah. Okay.
Sometimes. I want to go home.
それ冗談のつもり？
Funny? She showed me no appreciation of my direct response or my sense of humor. Do you want money, right? How much?
知ってどうする？
None of your business. I tried to negotiate with her, but she just looked even more annoying. Look, if you let me go now, all my money is yours. All the cash on me and in my bank accounts, that should work, right? I'll say nothing and pretend this never even happened. I live by myself anyway. No one will suspect it if I just say I took a walk.
うっさいな。
I mean, that was pretty convincing, honestly, his plea just then.
Maybe.
バカにしてるの？あんたなんか信用してどうする？私と交渉できる立場とでも？
Hoping we can talk our way out of this.
黙って親父が金を出す
What
の。
if we just start rooting for
おとな
her?
しく待ちなさい。
Wait for your daddy to pay. She snorted and showed no interest in my proposal. What if he won't?
Oof.
払うよ。
He will. She interrupted me, raising her eyebrow in response.
でないと、あんたが大変なことになる。
Real trouble? She'll kill us. I realized her implication. My dry chuckle felt bitter. She had a point. I'd be in trouble without the ransom. I suppressed my worry, knowing it was not the time to panic. My priorities were collecting as much information as possible, replenishing my stamina, and finding a chance to escape. Can I have something to eat or drink? I haven't eaten anything since yesterday.
おうやはりお坊ちゃまね。食
Ah,
抜きだけでもう耐えられなくなっちゃったのかしら。
he's probably... Yep. Oh, fuck.
Oh, God.
Oh, jeez. I admitted without hesitation, my hunger was real. There was nothing impressive about hiding that. She couldn't retort, so she poured me a glass of water from the bottle after a grunt. I can't grab it unless you untie me.
犬みたいに舐めて飲めば？
Like a dog. I tried to convince her to loosen up the rope, but she had no intention of doing so. Good Koro-chan.
Drink.
Yeah. She was nice enough to pour. Please hold still.
マジで？
Oh, she's surprised?
Mm-hmm.
Noticing I would do as he suggested, she sounded surprised. Wasn't it your idea? If you don't want to, you can just feed me yourself. Not breaking a sweat, I replied coldly. Pride was not edible, and I had to keep my strength.
こいつ。
That was a
And
good line.
Yeah, it was.
I was used to it. If someone wanted me to insult or enrage you, just accept it plainly. People are like cats. They don't show interest in toys that don't struggle.
Oh, I see what he's saying.
Yeah.
I don't think I tried to escape even once. LOL. I was too scared I'll die. Started rooting for her a bit.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what I wondered. Like, are we just gonna completely flip? Well, I didn't really have an attachment to him in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just interested in the situation itself, you know?
Yeah.
動かないで。
Okay. No longer composed, she moved closer to me with water in her hand. What are you... I was pressed to the wall without finishing my sentence. She bent my head and forced the water down my throat like some sort of torture. Okay.
おかわりはどう？
She raised her eyebrow, smiling victoriously. Screw you. Couldn't say anything while choking. The spilled water soaked my clothes, making me tremble in this cold weather. That was straightforward and violent, but at least I can rest a little after drinking some water. Okay, I got stamina. Cell phone on the table started vibrating. She stole a glance at me with pursed lips after seeing the number. People had small gestures when they were under pressure, like pursing lips, flipping hair, and biting nails. The person in question might not be aware of it, but one's body language revealed his or her true emotions.
ここでおとなしくしてなさい。声を出したりしたら思い知らせてやるんだから。
She gonna leave? Leaving with that threat, she walked out through the door with a phone. The door closed shut, and I vaguely heard the conversation outside, but was not able to figure out the exact content. Was it an accomplice? There would be even less of a chance to escape if there were more of them. I sighed toward the sky. As though mocking my effort, every undesirable outcome had occurred. If there was only her, then I had to rest as much as possible. There might be a chance to escape when she wasn't careful. The door wasn't the only exit. Might even be able to jump out of the window if I could free myself from the ropes. Locations, head count, weapons, too many uncertainties, let alone how to untie this damn rope. It was more practical to figure something out on my own than to wait for rescue. It would have been ideal if I could persuade her to let me go. I absolutely could not trigger her before I was prepared. At the very least, I should get her to drop her guard to facilitate my escape. After that, I would play it by ear. Let's try to find something useful when she's not around. Okay, observe, yeah. When the cursor changes to the eye icon, you can look at certain objects by clicking on it. Click the button, change view. Okay.
Oh, okay. Here.
Okay, so you can kind of just look around. That's cool.
Do you want me to look at the window?
Yeah. See if... Oh, that counts as an action.
Oh, okay.
You can see the sky from the window. I should be able to collect more info if I can get closer. Okay, of course we can't move. It's not locked, however, since the place doesn't appear to be on the first or second floor, jumping out the window is a no-go. This makes the door the only exit out of here. Okay, at least that's some pretty good
useful,
info.
Yeah.
Let's try to find something useful when she's not around. Okay. Observe again. I mean... Couch shit.
Looks like that's our bag. I'm gonna look around a little bit more.
It's a poster. I kind of want to...
I do too. Let me...
Just see what else is
there's
there.
only two. Okay, yeah.
And there's a phone and cigarettes on the table.
Yeah. Should I look here?
I don't know. I feel like that's just the only light source she's got.
Look at the table? Or wardrobe? Poster?
Look at the poster. That might be helpful. Maybe she likes...
Oh, we can relate to it.
Yeah, maybe. What is that? The yellowing paper reveals signs of age. It seems to be some popular video game from the past.
The achievement said something like you can never have too many posters of girls with bunny ears or something like that.
This isn't really useful. Okay, well, fuck. Maybe it actually is later.
Remaining action. We can observe again.
Yeah, we can. You can't press left bumper. There's a chair, bag.
Table. Wardrobe.
What about the wardrobe? Is that... You think that's... could be significant?
Maybe.
It's a wooden wardrobe closet of certain age with a nasty, moldy smell. The ravages of time really messed up the door, as though one kick would totally shatter it. Well, there's our actions. The sunlight shone through the window at a certain angle, adding some dynamism to the dark room. Even the moldy smell seemed to be much fainter.
畜生
Okay, she's back.
Rand said, "Oh no, inspected the poster. True ending already lost. It's so over."
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Don't tell us that.
Ruined it already. Okay, damn it.
The girl walked back and forth in the room, anxiety clear on her face.
I got a feeling our dad's not gonna pay.
Screw it, I'll make another one. You can have him.
Yeah.
I have 3 just like him. Ha! What's wrong?
あんたを人質に取っていることを
Oh,
親父が信じなかったんだよ誰が
Oh my god.
Oh my fucking god.
That I'm pretty sure that poster was Ribby.
So is it like based off of something real?
Yeah.
Do you care if I look it up right
Yeah,
quick?
look it up.
I'm very curious. Oh. I unlocked my phone, it's just Luigi Maggioni. Yeah. He's just staring at
God.
me. Ribby? Oh yeah, there it is.
Oh wow, it actually is, yeah.
And everybody loves it.
How cute.
70% on Steam? Wow, I could save money on Ribby right now? No, I was looking through Steam. I dogged on the Steam summer sale. Steam summer fucking sale. Sorry, I can't
But
speak.
then you saw a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Like they were saying, it's indie games. You can get them for like a couple bucks, and it's really great deals.
Oh, Rain's saying it's a game by the same dev or publisher.
Oh,
It
that's
is. Okay,
cool.
That is cool.
I may actually get it then. Why not? Let me tell you, he probably thinks it's a scam. That's it. Yeah, that was not good.
Yeah.
黙れ何様のつもりよ
Treating her sensitive nerve, she threw me another kick. We earned that one. I just think it might be more effective.
知るかあんたの思うことなど黙って親父が金を出すのを待ってろ
Okay. Yeah, she sounds serious.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh god.
何笑ってんのあんたを傷つける勇気はないとでも
Oh, great.
Oh, I know. That was the bad choice.
Yeah, it
I
was.
just felt so much pressure. I was like,
It's
gotta
okay.
pick something.
It's okay.
It's a fun bullet hell.
Metroidvania.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, nice. She frowned upon hearing my laughter and then took out her weapon threateningly. No, it's just that I'm not that important to him.
Oh, no.
どういうこと
What do you mean? Noticing how odd my statement was, she raised her eyebrow and followed up. I haven't contacted my family for a long time. Our relationship isn't as close as you may think. Ever since I got kidnapped, I've been wondering if I should tell her that or not. That was a poor choice for a hostage.
Oh, God. Now they're both in a bad situation.
Didn't you say that earlier? What if he didn't give a shit about him?
Yeah, I was like...
I guess we were both kind of joking about it.
Yeah, we were joking, but geez, I didn't expect it to actually go there.
Yeah. I got an older one and I got a younger one. They're both better.
Yeah.
Maybe she'd let me go or silence me instead. However, it was only a matter of time before she found out, so might as well have been transparent here.
何なのその年で反抗期か
So she
Okay.
wants to know why we're not close.
Yeah. He's self-centered, or maybe just a workaholic. Our complicated family relationship was hard to explain in a few words. I was deciding how to piece my sentences together to answer a question. He spends half a year abroad and never cares about the family. He'll work until midnight, even when he's back in Taiwan. I don't even see him that often on holidays. It's always about the company. It's all for the stockholders and employees, blah, blah, blah. In my opinion, it's all for his own ego. Whether it was my graduation, birthday, or even car accident, he never showed up. Not even a single damn call. Clearly, his job is far more important than me. Yeah, clearly it is. He probably wouldn't even know about the accident if not for the hospital calling an emergency contact. I tried to shrug, but my tied-up hands made it impossible. Anyway, he doesn't care if I'm dead or alive. He might even feel relieved about me getting kidnapped. Sorry about that, but you would have better luck with the secretary.
Oh, God.
Shit.
To get up with his father, you have better luck calling his secretary.
So she has all this information on him, except the fact that he doesn't communicate with his family.
Yeah.
That's weird. Hell, if you let me go now, I can even tell you his secretary's number as a bonus. Oh, that's not a bad. I proposed to her half-jokingly, yet her reaction was unexpected. She didn't open her mouth, instead just looking at me coldly from beside the window.
ふざけないで。
Think that's funny? To my surprise, she walked to me while flipping her hair.
自分がかわいそうとでも
Oh no.
同情しても
That's
らえる
not
とで
what
も
he's saying.
No, please don't. She grabbed my collar and pulled me so close I could feel her breath.
自動車事故にあった？入院した？お父さんが構ってくれなかった？
I can't tell how she's gonna react.
I can't
Like
either.
what she's about to do.
借金を押し付けられなかっただけ御の字よ。
Oh.
誰でも幸せな家族を持っているとでも思ったの？
Oh, God. So you think she's in serious debt?
Whatever his situation, I mean, it's relative, right? You know,
Yeah.
well, you know, everybody's situation is relative, but whatever his situation is, obviously she feels like hers is way, way worse.
Worse, yeah.
学校へ行く。食事する。
Yeah.
家へ帰る。あんたらが当たり前だと思っていることが私たちにとっては違うんだよ。
Yeah.
そこも分かってないんなら被害者面をするな。気持ち悪いだけだ。
I mean, in this situation, he is the victim.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. Every word was delivered clearly. Her voice contained a certain indescribable weight. And the voice actor's really doing good by adding that kind of weight, even though I don't understand the language, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The emphasis on the words is really good.
It is.
Seeing me not responding, she let go of my collar and spat on the ground, angrily.
あんたに言っても時間の無駄だ。
Realizing she might have spoken too much, she turned her head away and returned to the window like a bursted bubble. Maybe if you can get her to talk about her past and what her struggles.
Whatever this debt she's incurred.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought it was starting to type.
Well, if that didn't work. Huh. I sighed lightly. Things wouldn't be easy after all. It was true I wanted to win her pity, but that was no lie either. Father always working and a mom never home. That's the image of my family.
Would you think that was his mother we were seeing at the beginning saying, "Tell your dad I'm at my class," and then he heard her leave with a man?
Yeah. Kinda do. Every time I was home, all I could see upon opening the door was the vast, empty living room. I noticed how big the house was, so big that I could feel only emptiness. Yeah, places like that, they always seem like they'd be so nice to have, but they just look like, I don't know, like museums.
Yeah.
Like you're not supposed to
Actually live in
be
it.
comfortable in it.
Yeah,
It's
be at home.
Yeah. I breathed out, raised my head, and looked at the small part of the sky from the window. The only lie was that I no longer felt hurt by it. Night. Noon? Night? Night. Hunger. Night came, and I'd eaten nothing but some crackers. I never knew starving could be this uncomfortable.
Yeah, Rand said, yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to live somewhere like that.
No.
Yeah.
I'd rather live in a haunted house.
Yeah.
Like, literally.
At least it'd have some, like, charm or something, you know? Like, some personality to
Every
it.
other hour. Ooh.
I never knew starving could be this uncomfortable. Yeah.
She didn't seem to eat anything either. She was either staring at her phone or smoking while looking out the window.
Do you think he's realized yet that, like, she can't obtain food? You know what I mean? Like, he seems like he doesn't get it yet.
Yeah, apparently not. Some people can't fathom skipping meals, whether it's for, for whatever reason, whether it's by choice or for money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people just cannot fathom that. There were a few phone calls, but they were all made outside, so I couldn't hear them. I didn't know what they discussed, but it didn't appear the negotiation with my family was smooth. After all the hesitation, I decided to ask her.
Nani?
Nani? I need to go to the bathroom. Piss yourself.
Yeah, I was about to say, has she planned for how this is going to go?
She stole a glance at me, but acted as though she heard nothing. I said I need to go to the bathroom. I repeated myself. This time she slowly turned toward me.
Casper might be a fun roommate. So
Yeah. Yeah. She probably didn't expect my physiological needs. She opened her mouth awkwardly, but couldn't say anything.
自分で何とかすれば
Can you figure something out on your own? What do you mean? My hands are tied.
Piss yourself. Clearly the type that got angry when having nothing to say, she turned her head with a stern face, knocking on the desk with her knuckle. Realizing this might be a chance to make her untie the rope, I grew silent. Not knowing my plan, she acted carefree, but kept stealing glances in my direction. Since it was about time, I sighed innocently. I guess I'd have to do it here after all.
待って
Wait.
Don't piss on my floor.
Yeah, she's like, don't be here, please.
Rent's only $25, but still. Seeing as I wasn't joking, she stopped me with a darkened face.
バカじゃないの自分だけでトイレはいけないの
Hey, the R word's making a comeback, if y'all
It
haven't
is.
noticed. It's like the 90s all over again.
Can't you go to the bathroom yourself?
I'm not saying I like that the R word's coming back. I'm just making
Making observation.
making an observation. Staying in an old house was one thing, but even a kidnapper wouldn't want to stay in a room filled with crap. Literal crap. But I can't even unzip myself like this.
Oh god, she's gonna kill
う
us.
るさい
I'll cut your pisser off.
Oh my god, just because we gotta use the bathroom.
Oh
she's gonna
god.
stab
I was
us.
afraid she would react like this.
Rand said, oop.
Yeah. She pushed me to the wall suddenly and turned me over. What on? I panicked, over not seeing anything. I tried to turn myself back, but only heard a cold voice next to my ear. Do you think she's untying us? Or
Probably
she's just being really severe about it?
to scare us.
To scare us,
probably.
yeah. So we
Same
won't.
thing with the water.
She pressed my body with her elbow, and I felt a cold sensation on my back. No question about what it was.
A cold sensation on his back.
Yeah.
喋んな動くな
Oh, he's talking about the knife.
Yep.
Okay, okay.
動いたら刺す叫んでも刺す
Okay.
Okay.
She's feeling stabby.
She wasn't going to castrate me, was she? She knew that even without my genitals, I'd still need to go to the bathroom, right?
Can you imagine considering, like, oh my god, I hope she knows this, right?
Barrett. I kept under control and made sure I didn't speak, quietly awaiting her next move. Suddenly, the restriction on my hands disappeared. Oh. It was quite a relief, both mentally and physically. My hands were finally free, and I felt like all my energy was used up.
I bet his adrenaline was just pumping.
I never thought moving freely could bring such happiness. Even my shoulders and neck felt much better. If I could move my hands, my chance of escape was much higher.
手を上げて
Raise your hands. As though she saw through me, I saw the sharp knife when I turned around.
Yeah, you gained some freedoms.
Yeah, I feel like we shouldn't take it. I feel like we shouldn't try to escape.
No, I don't think we should either.
If we escape, it's because she let us go. Like, I feel like that's how we should go about this.
Yeah.
Oh.
手を上げろって言ってんのよ
Okay. Wait a second. She was totally not giving me a chance to explain myself. Not risking my own life, I raised my hands obediently. I can't escape even without the rope. Who would be so dumb as to fight someone with a knife? She ignored my nagging and showed no hesitation with her movements. My happiness evaporated instantly. Within a minute of my freedom, I returned to being a prisoner.
Or not.
Yeah. One glance at the bathroom, and antiquated was the only word I could think of to describe it. The old bathroom naturally wasn't huge. The light from the window was the only illumination, and the air smelled of mold. The tiles were engulfed with dirt, the bathtub covered covered in tiles, and the ink green toilets all looked like products of the last century. The drain was so nasty I couldn't even look at it. I tried to make a face in the mirror, but the reflection was so blurry I couldn't even recognize myself. My effort to bear the rope was in vain. I moved my tied hands back and forth, but I couldn't remove it without some tool. If I could find some sort of sharp item like a razor or broken tile.
もういいか変な気を起こしていないでしょう
I don't know. I just don't feel like we should do anything. Almost done. She sounded impatient outside the door. To avoid suspicion, I chose not to stay too long. I prepared to leave after finishing my business.
Oh, by the way, you can press B if you ever wanted to hide the dialogue box to look at the environment without it.
Oh, okay. Oh, I
that
do
must
see
have
that
been
now.
what I did earlier.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because on that controller, the back things are B. I remember that.
Okay,
I remember that from Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, bathroom breaks were the only time I was by myself. I could only find some weapons. I twisted the faucet. Surprisingly, there was still running water. Upon exiting, she immediately moved closer in case I was hiding something. From the rope to my pocket, she didn't miss any detail. There's nothing, really. Even the body search didn't seem to remove her suspicion of me, as though there was no way I could be this obedient. It'll be fine if I cooperate, right? I'm not brave enough to risk my life.
分かっていればいい
Better not be. Okay.
逃げようとしても損するのはあんた自身だから縄で縛られないんなら
I believe her.
足一本
I
持
believe her.
ってやっても
Oh,
構
jeez.
She'll break us.
She's got a pretty stern kick, so I think we should believe her.
Yeah. Making that final threat, she returned to the window and lit a cigarette. She tiredly supported her head. Yeah, has she not been asleep at all?
I wonder that too.
The messy hair hid her expression. It is day one still, making it hard to tell her thoughts, which seems to disappear with the cigarette smoke.
おい
I'm really enjoying this game
I
so
am
far.
too.
She recklessly went through my cell and asked suddenly,
なんでお袋の番号が入ってないんだ
"Why don't you have your mom's number?" I accidentally deleted it. Accidentally? She's busy. No time for me. Having no intention to talk about my family, I tried to end the topic quickly, yet she started laughing, mockingly.
息子が拉致されても知らないなんてそれは多忙でしょうね
I mean, that's what it seems like.
親父が働いてるんでしょ何が忙しいのショッピングお茶会
Buying luxury purses
それとも
abroad.
海外へ旅行してブランド品のバッグでも買いに
His parents definitely seem wrapped up in their own world.
Yeah.
I mean, they are. Not seems like, they are.
How biased can you be?
I was fed up with her unreasonable attitude, trying to paint rich people as pigs drowning in money and all sorts of luxury. They had no ability nor brains and were only good at ordering people around with money. Exhausted their employees every day just to earn more money to waste. I didn't know how many people believed in such stereotypes, always suspecting others were doing something illegal if they had a better life than themselves. They didn't ponder the reason behind those differences, but simply lamented the social injustice and cursed others' success. Such blind hatred of the rich was simply laughable. All these claims of, they're just lucky and rely on their parents. I could do the same if I were rich, were just to propel forward their self-righteousness. He's got a point.
I see what he's saying.
Yeah, I do see what he's saying.
I like seeing how they're both biased and not seeing other side.
I agree.
I do agree with that too. He's making a lot of assumptions about her assumptions.
And like you were talking about earlier, Rand, like before the stream started, that is a very real look, because that's really how things are.
Yeah,
like people's reality is, I mean, is their experience projected.
It is, yeah. And he's never lived her life, and she's never lived his.
Yeah. All they know is their own experience. So yeah, this is a very good representation of that so far. I really like this. It's giving me the feels. Biased. Hearing my words, she snorted and raised her eyebrow in disapproval.
違うだろう？偏見を持っているのはそっちの方じゃないか。
Oh.
大学を卒業もしてないのに何ができる？おいおい、こんなやつまで入らせる店なのか、ここは。
I see what she's saying.
気をつけた方がいいですよ。貧乏だからきっと盗みを働きますから。
And that's very true too. Like, people think if someone's homeless, it's because they're like a criminal or a drug addict or something.
Yeah, they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be one without the other kind of thing.
Yeah. Ryan really likes this song.
Yeah.
あんたたちが言ってきたことだろ。は。
But she's just kind of like assuming.
Yeah.
I mean, after her lively imitation, she burst into laughter, a voice filled with self-deprecation.
こっちこそ聞きたいね。私が何をした？なんであんたらは私たちに対してそんなに偏見を持っているの？
I wonder what he's going to say to this or think. Her tone sounded like one who had been through much discrimination. I wasn't sure what sort of experience had led to such an extreme mindset. I mean, taking a look around the room, he could probably gather, maybe. Yet such words from the mouth of a kidnapper seemed only to prove those biased statements.
もういい。
Oh, I see what he's saying. Because she's a kidnapper, he's like, I deserve to be biased against you, because clearly everything you're saying is... Everything people say about you is true if you're kidnapping someone.
Right,
you know?
yeah. She turned her head and was unwilling to say more. Night arrived. Her eyes sparkled like stars and focused on some faraway place I couldn't reach.
分かりきったことよ。これは仕方がないことだって。
Couldn't be helped.
That's what she said, yeah.
世の中はもともと
I wonder what she's thinking about.
そうだ。
I feel like she wasn't talking about this situation specifically.
Yeah.
Maybe. The girl's whisper was barely audible, and I wasn't sure if it was directed to me or to herself. It echoed within the room like some spell and stayed for a long time. Do we make it a day 2? Many things were easier than expected. She never knew kidnapping could be this easy. He was taken without any sort of resistance. The girl looked at the boy next to the wall, who curled his body up to preserve some warmth. The short and rapid breathing seemed to indicate he couldn't find peace even in a dream. Uncertain if he had really fallen asleep, the girl didn't close her eyes despite her drowsiness, afraid he might escape if she wasn't careful. Once she got the ransom, she could start a new life, away from the stigma and boredom. The cell phone flashed a notification. Some hesitation flew across the girl's face, but it reverted back to the same look of sternness. She had long decided that it didn't matter what it would take. So long had she lived for someone else. It was time to fight for her own right. This song too.
Mm-hmm. That song was good.
I'm really wanting to listen to this OST separate.
Yeah.
Like, I would buy this one if they're selling it separately. Okay, this time. Oh, you got an autosave at least it autosaved.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
that's good. Okay, you did get the save this time. That's good. Day 2. Silent Girl. Okay. It's so cold.
I'm gonna see what that note was.
Yeah, we have a few notes. Based on the height of the window, jumping out would be unlikely. Converse with her. Couldn't rest with this cold weather if only there was something warm.
Video game on the poster. I had turned yellow.
Former resident.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess that's true. This may not be her place.
She's probably living in an abandoned building.
That's true. Not paying for... I mean, like, she may not have, like, literally no money.
Right, yeah.
Maybe it was discrimination from her being impoverished that led to such deep-seated animosity.
Yeah, the manual saves are for, like, getting the other endings or going back to certain choices. Oh, okay.
Okay, at least we got a save right before day 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
So cold.
So cold.
I didn't feel better after I slept. Instead, I felt even more tired. I was hoping to find a chance to escape when she fell asleep. However, time passed, and she didn't show any sign of closing her eyes. It's the cigarettes. She's got the nicotine power.
The power of nicotine.
Power of nicotine. And protein, nicotine, creatine. That's all you need. I couldn't help but fall asleep first. The last thing I saw was her lighting another cigarette. There you go.
Oh, yeah. Just stay awake.
My body must have really been exhausted if I could fall asleep like that. I opened my eyes in a daze and saw an unfamiliar face right before me.
Oh.
Who
What?
is this?
A young girl?
Who is this? Oh. Oh, she is there. I jumped back reflexively and tried to shield my chest with my hands. Yet my tied up hands reminded me of my kidnapped status. Regardless, I was shocked by this new face. Yeah, what the hell? I stared at the new girl before me. The first thing I noticed was her beautiful eyes, clean, light brown, like pieces of amber.
Do you think this is the kidnapper's sister?
I think so. Her thick coat and dark red sweater looked pretty old. Her small body suggested she might have been in junior high, so she was clearly unfit for a place like this. Oh, fuck. I didn't know who she was, but I easily noticed the knife in her hand. She stared straight at me, but showed no signs of speaking, which somehow emitted an inexplicable pressure. Who are you? I tried to ask her, but she refused to answer and shook her head. She was on guard of my every movement with pressed lips. There was no sign of the kidnapper around. There were only the two of us in the room. In other words, a good chance to escape. I don't think so.
Ask for help? Or try to struggle?
Ah, shit, I don't know. They're both bad to me. Ask for help. Can you untie the rope for me? She shook her head. Seeing she had no intention to help, I tried to untie it myself. Dude, no, you're gonna get another kick.
Yeah.
At the very least, her expression vividly changed upon noticing my attempt. Oh, pissed.
Oh, she sounds more scared.
Yeah, she does. As expected. Only another victim, worthy accomplice, would be here. If she wasn't tied up and instead held a knife, then she must be my guard. The quiet girl and the antisocial one. What a bizarre combo. Sort of plot in a movie would have easily triggered the haters. It appeared reality could be more ridiculous than fiction. Yeah, in this case. I breathed out and couldn't help but laugh out of stress. Yeah, what a fucked up situation.
Yeah.
I had no idea why they would pick her as a partner. I could defeat someone of her. I could defeat her. I could defeat her, someone of her size, even if she held a knife. Assuming she was alone. Is there anyone else here? There would be no progress if I didn't strike up a conversation. I decided to speak proactively after giving it some thought. She stared at me tightly with no response, making one wonder if she understood. You were asked to guard me, right? Still no response. Wonder if she would have reacted better if you just didn't choose either. Apparently, if you don't choose either, it'll randomly choose one. But
Yeah.
I was wondering the same thing, like, because both of those, in my opinion, like, I wouldn't do either.
Yeah.
Sully, I didn't see your chat.
What-
I have a strong feeling this guy's IQ is room temp. No shit. I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
That's funny as hell. You can, unfortunately, it would let you pick something. But yeah.
I feel like I would end up opting out of all of them if you could just not say anything.
Yeah.
I would end up just not saying anything to play it safe. Okay. I can't feel my hands untie the rope.
She shook her head, finally speaking after being silent for a while.
あなたの話を聞いちゃダメって
Not to listen. Oh, big sis. There you go. Yeah. Big sis. Her voice was light and quiet, like smoke in the air. I finally heard her speak, yet it was frustrating to hear something so pointless. So obedient. Who is big sis? Who's big sis?
Who's Sissy?
Who's this big sis? Is she the one with long hair that kidnapped me? Where is she? I need to talk to her. She just pokes your little eyeball. After continuously asking her questions, I'd gotten not a single answer. Perhaps I was asking them too eagerly, and that made her cautious. She looked at me suspiciously, but refused to say anything. Told myself to hang in there. I had to stay calm in these situations. I feel like if we try to take advantage of this one being younger and like more vulnerable, then we'll be punished.
We will be punished, yeah.
Fucking punished.
I feel like Big Sis is probably sleeping since
Yeah.
she didn't sleep at all.
Yeah.
So she might be sleeping right now.
I took a deep breath to suppress my unease. I tried to smile to lighten up the mood. You have anything to eat? Don't tell me your sister doesn't allow that either. I had no strength with an empty stomach. I hadn't eaten anything since yesterday. My stamina went out faster in this cold weather. I had to save my energy for my chance. This was a war of attrition. Either she'd let me go or I'd give up first. Is that big sis? Is it blood relation or of a respect? Oh yeah. I don't know. Good point.
Their hair kind of looks the same.
Yeah, they
Both
look.
have brown eyes.
Yeah, they do look similar. Answering with action, she put a bowl on the ground, grabbed the water bottle with difficulty, and carefully poured some into it.
これ
She handed me the bowl and then brought me a pack of crackers. Oh, cereal.
Yeah.
Worrying I might escape, she never moved her gaze away from me. The hand grasping the knife never loosened up. Observing her actions quietly, I hoped to read her thoughts, but couldn't discern anything except stress. Ay, ay, ay. I drank the water with much effort, spilling quite a bit on my clothes due to my tied up hands. My clothes were wet again after finally getting dried.
Oh wow. Okay. Joy in the chat says, "What makes someone good? ? question mark. Obviously, his taste in music does.
Actually,
Yeah.
facts. Actually,
The
facts.
music
Yeah.
is great.
That is true. Joy, thank you. Thank you for telling us the truth. It is very true. The hard crackers tasted like pure flour alone, hard to swallow even with water. I knew it was not the time to be picky. I had to cherish any opportunity to replenish my strength. Yeah, she doesn't say anything. Noticing her conflicted gaze, I asked, "What's wrong?"
姉ちゃんは悪い人じゃないんだ。お金が手に入れば返してもらえるんだから。
So I think she feels a little bad
I
about
think
all
she
this.
does too, because she's wanting to reassure us that her sister's not a bad person.
Yeah. She does. She's
だからお願い。
okay,
ずっ
yeah.
としてて。
The voice actor for the young girl is good too.
Yeah, she is.
What should I say? Stay silent.
Just stay silent. What a reassuring statement. They kidnapped someone to an abandoned house, beat him up, and then told him they were not bad people. Sure. Might as well say it was all for charity.
Oh, God.
I doubted I would say anything nice if I opened my mouth, so I kept it shut and ignored her words. Organizing the information I could gather, I started to plan my next steps. Would the teacher notice something was wrong if I hadn't gone to the cram school for 2 days? Unlikely, considering how often I skipped it. Great. Okay. First, I was thinking, well, I mean, if every other adult in his life was like his parents, then he's fucked. But
Yeah.
he's also a bad student, so he's fucked.
They'll think he's just skipping.
Yep. Okay. So much for that. Unless it lasted long enough, but even in the worst case scenario, they would only contact the parents instead of the police.
Yeah.
which for him would be bad.
Yeah.
Useless. I started to regret not having more friends who would notice me going missing. Expecting her to let me go upon getting the ransom, would it really be that easy? Remembering that vague smile, didn't feel very assured. The girl was squatting next to the wall and stared at me while hugging her legs. There was no curiosity in her eyes, as though nothing interested her here. She was just guarding this place at someone else's behest. Big sis, huh? Considering their relationship, it was unlikely she planned the kidnapping. She was most likely just an accomplice following orders. Unlike some stereotypical bad girls who smoked or dyed their hair, she looked like a well-behaved but shy kid. He's so judgmental, at least. If I hadn't met her in this situation. So who's planning all this? I say he's judgmental, but he is kidnapped.
Yeah, yeah.
He deserves some cred there. Somehow, I felt things weren't as simple as they seemed. There were too many points of suspicion if they were the ones planning this. Even carrying me here should have been problematic for them. Also, the person she was contacting concerned me as well. Those are all good points.
I didn't consider that.
Yeah.
How, like, they literally had to carry him here.
Yeah, somehow got him here.
And he's not on the first or second floor either.
Hey. I called out to catch her attention and tried to start a conversation. She was younger than the kidnapper yesterday, with much less animosity. There might have been a chance to convince her. How did you get my information? You're a student, right? Do you know what you're doing? She stared at me with no change of expression. I wasn't sure if she heard me. This might be even more troublesome than the other one. I could at least guess my kidnapper's thoughts if there was some sort of conversation. I was only wasting my time here at this rate. I don't know what she told you, but this is kidnapping. I tried to sound more threatening to make her talk. It would be punishment even if you're underage, and that would involve your family too. Do you know that? They're just using you. They might blame this all on you later.
姉ちゃんはそんなことしない。
He's gonna get screwed over for that.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
She's gonna go crying to her sister.
Yeah.
The way she's talking makes it sound like it is literally just them two. Like,
Yeah.
her and her sister are
Yeah.
the only ones involved.
That's what I think so far.
Yeah.
How can you be so sure? Just because she was kind to you? Do you think she would still be on your side by then? Finally making her talk, I tried to push forward. Has she told you her plan after getting the money? Do you really know her? Don't push it.
God.
Oh my
I'm
god.
gonna get
そんな
stabbed.
ことしないもん。あなたこそ姉ちゃんのことが全然分かってない。
Gonna have to agree with young girl here.
Yeah.
We don't know either of them.
And Rand said, I don't think going about it this way is a good idea, dude.
No, I don't either.
You're gonna if he upsets little sis, big sis is gonna be pissed.
Like, the only thing he knows about them is that they both have knives, or
Yeah.
or at least are sharing a knife,
Yeah.
and he's tied up. You know what I mean? So like,
And he keeps pistol off.
yeah. She interrupted me loudly and stood up all of a sudden, with her little body shaking.
The music is getting intense. too.
Yeah. I didn't expect such a big reaction. Perhaps her relationship with her big sis was closer than I thought.
And this is something he can't relate with, is being close to family.
Yeah,
Because he's never been close with family.
yeah. Of course, I don't know your big sis. I stopped for a few seconds and stared at her coldly. All I know is that she's a kidnapper. That's all that matters.
嘘つき。あなたは姉ちゃんがなんでこんなことをするのかも。
Oh, she really doesn't want him to think she's a bad person, even for some reason.
Yeah,
You
that
know?
seems like the most, like the priority to her.
Yeah, the most important thing is that he knows they're not bad people.
Because her sister, I'm sure, has spent a lot of time ruminating over the fact that she's been judged for her position in life.
Yeah.
So she probably hears that a lot. She raised the knife and yelled at me with her chest heaving up and down, but swallowed the word before the key part. Why then?
姉ちゃんはただ
She's just what? Facing my question, she lowered her gaze. Worrying she might get too agitated and really harm me, I decided to change the subject, despite my desire to continue. Anyway, I don't get it, but you better give it some thought. I coldly ended the conversation, leaving her staring at me hesitantly. No matter how much faith one had in others, no one would stay still after hearing those words. What could possibly go wrong with insulting a kidnapper's family? Yeah, for real.
Honestly.
I wasn't sure how effective that was. I could only wait and see. I wonder when she's coming back.
Yeah, me too.
It's not like that. Not able to retort, she squatted next to the wall in depression, mumbling with her head in her arms. Seeing her almost about to cry made me feel a little uncomfortable, but I would do anything as long as I could get out of here. Besides, they were the ones at fault here. There should be no sense of guilt involved, even if I hurt them a little. But he does feel a little guilty,
Yeah.
it seems like. Is it noon now, or let's try to strike up a conversation with her? Oh, fuck.
Oh.
Maybe observe, see what we can observe. Is there anything new in the room? Like, if you click observe, like, that's not using an action. I'm just, you know what I'm saying?
I
So
don't
there's-
remember those books.
So there's books, that's about it. I mean, you could check those. I assume that they're the little girls. It's quite a variety of books, ranging from magazines, reference books, to even cookbooks. Only thing they share in common is their poor condition. So maybe they're just like books. Theory of Justice, The Lucifer Effect, quite a few things I've never heard of. There might be some used books picked up from somewhere. Like they're just what they have. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just random stuff.
Just random stuff they
just what
collected.
just what was available to them. Maybe not even their choice.
Yeah.
You really like reading, don't you? Yes, okay, we got that. She'd been reading in the corner for a few days now. She had changed to another book after finishing one, and never got bored throughout the afternoon. I would lose my patience if I had to read for more than an hour or two. The book selection was pretty diverse, ranging from novels to magazines to travel guides. It didn't appear there was any real selective process. Where'd you get all these books? You borrowed them? It was unlikely for them to buy books if they had to kidnap me for money. However, There was no library barcode in them either, on top of the fact that they looked quite old.
姉ちゃんからもらったの。
Okay.
So she gets them for her.
Yeah. She answered without raising her hand, or her head, and kept flipping through the magazine.
もっと本を読んでって。バカにされないようにって。
Okay.
Wants her to be
姉ちゃん
smart.
が。
Right. That explanation was unexpected. I thought she would say educated people were all liars and rich people were all demons. All the talk about how damnable the rich people are, yet she still wanted to be like them. So, did your sis go to school?
中学卒業まで。
Only to middle school. She raised her head with a rare smile on her face.
Sully said they were bought with a 5-finger discount. Oh god. Okay, we were.
姉ちゃんはああ見えて、実は成績がすごく良かったの。
Had good grades? I wonder what happened then.
So she didn't go to school after middle school.
Right.
Okay.
But she had good grades when she was in school.
Mm-hmm.
For real? Good grades. I tried to imagine the girl, but that's some information we have on her now.
Yeah.
I tried to imagine the girl in a school uniform, and I just couldn't picture her as someone with good grades. Okay. Conversation. I don't know. See what the options
Seems
are.
chatty, yeah.
Maybe ask her about her sister. Don't ask about, like...
Like, how long have you known?
Yeah, yeah. She stared at me cautiously, as though not feeling too happy about me saying bad things about her big sis. You really like your sister, huh? I sighed heavily. The depression in my chest didn't lessen one bit. Yeah. She nodded without a second thought. She was only this certain when it involved her big sis. Just say whatever.
Yeah, I don't want to say something to make her mad.
Whatever. I wasn't sure if she was just innocent or easy to fool. Even though she was being manipulated, she still got mad for her. Someone really needed to knock some sense into this little girl. I don't know, but it was pointless to tell her that now.
I don't think she's being manipulated.
One was the big sis that took care of her, and the other was a random stranger that she knew far less than a day. It was clear who she would pick. Okay.
I could get some. Maybe she'll give me something warm.
I wondered that but it's between that and who are you? Do you think she'll talk, tell us who we are, who she is anyway? Like, you think?
I don't think she will.
If she's not even gonna say anything about her sister, really, then.
But he did say that if he could get some better rest, he could get more stamina. So I guess maybe if we say so cold, she'll give us a blanket.
Maybe. So cold.
Oh, her smiling for once.
She made a sound to indicate she heard me. I waited a while before continuing to talk. If only it was a little warmer. With my movements restrained, I had no way to get information if they didn't talk to me. To get information from her, I needed to find a way to make her talk. After all, telling her directly, I want to talk, most likely wouldn't work. I want some coffee. You don't really talk much, do you? Don't say coffee. Please, God, don't ask for coffee.
Yeah.
You really don't talk much, do you?
No.
One word ended the conversation. Even I didn't know how to continue. Regardless of our difference in age and background, plus the fact that she was the kidnapper's accomplice. Oh, God. Blue sky jump scare. And prison life was surprisingly boring. Couldn't do anything with tied hands, and the only person I could talk to was as silent as a rock in one corner of the room. There was no phone, no TV, no internet. The usually insufficient 24 hours now felt way too long.
Oh, usually insufficient.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what he means.
Yet she didn't look one bit bored. Flipping through a book from God knows where, she observed my movements from time to time. I ate the same crackers for breakfast and lunch. I also went to the bathroom once, hoping to find a chance to escape. She stood outside with a knife when I was in there, neither rushing me nor leaving. Having found nothing useful there, I left post-haste.
Yeah, Sully said, do you have coffee? And none, if that instant garbage, only the finest Colombian beans for me.
Yeah, for real. I bet you could speed run like a bad ending, just like
getting
getting
murdered.
fucking getting your throat slit by this little girl, by little sis.
Yeah.
I wonder if this game lasts for 5 nights. I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder that
This
too.
is the second day, right? So far, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah, day 2, Silent Girl. That was what it was called, right? And
It
this
said day 2, but I thought for some reason he said
days. Yeah, she had
like,
been reading for days.
reading for days.
I did notice that too, but that might be
That might have been.
that might have been a little error. I
an
don't
error,
know.
yeah.
Maybe just a little error.
It might be something that you could have observed later in the game,
Yeah,
and it would have said that.
yeah,
You know, like
that's true.
okay.
Or evidence that she'd been there for a few days. Who knows? Yeah. Don't you eat anything more normal, or do you just love crackers?
Dude, they're holding you ransom for money. They don't have options for anything more normal.
Hey, do you have any chili mac?
Chili man.
She ate the same thing as me. They were cheap and tasteless no matter how long you chewed, and they only served to make your mouth dry. Okay, this is sad as fuck, actually.
It is.
The fact that, I mean, like, they're feeding him, but, like, they're feeding him all that they have, it seems like.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
does. Like,
they're not,
it's what they're eating.
Yeah. Like, if they weren't eating anything, he you know, yeah. I don't know. It's just pretty sad. Unless you won a year's worth of them from a lottery, there's really no reason to keep eating them. That's a weird scenario to consider. That's the only... Okay. I started the conversation out of boredom. She raised her head thoughtfully.
これ安くて
Oh
長く
yeah.
持つから
It's about money.
Like, they're sharing their meals with him.
Yeah.
Even if it looks like nothing.
It's
Like,
cheap and it lasts a long time. So like they can buy them and they don't have to worry about them going bad.
yeah, like this is their food that they're sharing. That's sad as fuck.
It is.
Jeez. That hurts me. Aren't you worried about malnutrition?
Some people don't have the luxury of worrying about that.
Yeah, that's not even on a lot of people's minds.
Yeah.
This is what they
Jeez.
got. There was nothing but starch left, let alone fiber or vitamins. Pretty ironic for something called a nutrition biscuit. Showing no concern about balancing her diet, she didn't even raise her head, but just replied nonchalantly. Hanging out with her this whole morning, she didn't give any sort of proper response except when it was about her big sis. Pretty incredible, I would say. Strangely enough, it wasn't like she cared about this big sis that much. It was more like she just didn't care about anything else. Did you figure something out with my dad?
知らない
Okay. Her answer without hesitation didn't appear to be a lie. However, it did trigger my curiosity if she didn't even care about the status of the ransom. No matter who you are, you must care about something, whether it be family, work, or some dream. Yet she had none of that. There wasn't even some sort of animosity against me, only caution at most. Uh-oh. Focus on resting or try to talk. Ooh.
Wasn't ready.
Caught you mid. Do you want me to? Do you want
No,
me to
it's
play?
okay. I was just drinking water at
Okay.
the moment. I didn't know there was going to be a decision.
Yeah, IQ is definitely in room temp, but in Celsius. Yeah, yeah,
In Celsius.
yeah. Rather than fulfilling pointless curiosity, I should rest and replenish my strength. Noon. Okay, that was a long morning.
Yeah, it was.
Within the silence, the sudden phone vibration sounded extra sharp. Unlike yesterday, the girl picked up the phone immediately.
もしもし。
Perhaps she was asked about me, as the girl glanced at me when answering the call.
大丈夫。
I had no idea what the conversation entailed, and could only guess from her words. It was the kidnapper from yesterday. Where could she be if she needed to call to confirm my situation? Yeah, she's not here.
Mm-hmm.
Did she already contact someone to get the ransom, or maybe they had other bases?
隣にいる。はい。
She's like whispering too.
Yeah.
The girl handed me the phone. I raised my tied hands and then shrugged helplessly. She hesitated a little, then put the phone next to my ear. At this distance, maybe I could bump into her by surprise. I could probably still overwhelm her, even with my tied up limbs. Before making up my mind, I heard a voice from the phone.
もしもし。
Oh yeah, it's her. The cold voice sounded a little different through the phone. The noisy background seemed to indicate she was somewhere outside, maybe a restaurant or a karaoke place.
もしもし。聞こえる？
Yep.
元気そうだな。
Sorry to disappoint. She didn't seem pleased with my greeting. Maybe she was expecting me to go into a panic and shiver in the corner. The more she wanted to see me in fear, the more I wanted to act indifferently. It wasn't really part of any sort of strategy, just some pointless show of resistance.
分かっていると思うが、念の逃げようと思う。
What'd she say?
質問もするな。
Don't try to run, don't ask questions.
She said I said it already, but I'll say it again.
Oh, okay.
あんたたちを見ているから。
If anything happens... She paused, then left a threat.
生きて帰らせると言ったが、5体満足に。
Oh, jeez.
If you lost an arm or leg, oh my god.
Got it. Got it. I didn't even need to guess what she wanted to say. Lose an arm or a leg, throw him off a cliff, blah blah blah. Hell, even agreeing to return me alive was already saintly of her. Most wouldn't even intend to keep the hostage alive. Hostages usually got silenced after the kidnappers got the money and were ready to run. I didn't plan to believe her words from the beginning. If I played too nice, I might get killed without knowing how. Is my dad paying?
あんたは知らなくてもいいことだ。
None of your business?
自分のことでも心配してな。
Jeez. Doesn't sound like it.
Yeah.
But... Bullshit. Why would I ask about that if not out of concern for my own safety? I wanted to ask more, but got stopped mercilessly.
すぐ帰るんだから、おとなしくしな。
Oh gosh, she's coming back. Hey, wait. Okay, before I could say anything, she hung up. Hang up right after she said whatever she wanted. What a woman. Hearing the empty sounds of a disconnected call, I knew being mad would make zero difference.
姉ちゃんは何か言った？
What'd she say? She approached me once the call ended and asked me worriedly. Within the short period of time, I wondered what to say. Answer honestly.
Yeah, she's on her way back.
She told me to stay put and then she would be home soon.
わかった。
Not showing any emotion, she simply took away the phone and sat back in the corner. I remembered how the big sis sat next to the window smoking, seemingly in thought and also in patience. In contrast, this girl was way too quiet, and she just sat there holding her legs together. How much did she really know about the kidnapping? She didn't even know me, nor what to do. Her big sis asked her to guard me, so she guarded. Her big sis asked her not to talk to me, so she didn't talk to me. Whether it was about the outcome or the reward, she was clueless and didn't care. She just had faith in her big sis. Such blind trust was not far from stupidity. I almost felt bad for her. Time felt much longer when you were waiting. I even sighed in relief when I heard a sound approach. A motorcycle engine was shut down not too far away, and the closing footsteps echoed through the staircase. The noise was empty, but had a certain rhythm. There's no elevator. Was this an apartment or some privately owned house? I could only hear one person's steps, so there was no one coming back with her.
ただいま。
Oh no. The one who walked in was the same girl from the day before, aka the big sis. Same overcoat as yesterday, and her expression hadn't changed either. Welcome home. That earned us a little cut on the finger. I don't know, they look kind of different. They look pretty different now.
Yeah, they do.
What if she kidnapped this girl?
Oh, God.
And she just adopts
And
people?
She adopts people that parents don't love them.
Yeah. Unsure of what was going on in my mind, she looked at me suspiciously and handed the plastic bag in her hand to the other girl.
弁当よ。熱いうちに食べなさい。
Oh, she got her some food.
姉ちゃん、
The little girl whispered something into her ear. I couldn't tell the context from this distance. The girl nodded, staring dead straight at me.
Oh, God.
Once the girl finished, she moved towards me with the knife. She tried to check the rope, even pulling it a few times to make sure it was tight enough. I told you I didn't do anything. If I could get out of this, do you really think I'd stay here?
うるさい。
Okay.
Quiet. Okay.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Yay, she's back. We're safe.
Mommy's back. Ask her then. She threw the other girl a questioning glance, which was answered by a silent nod. Her head wasn't even turned. It seemed like the bento was much more attractive than the situation here. She snorted unhappily, but couldn't find a reason to act up. She then just started to laugh scornfully.
まあいい。何かしでかす勇気もないだろう。
She doesn't believe we'd even escape.
子供の頃から父親と母親が何もかも用意してくれて、どの学校に行くか、どの会社に行くか、
You don't know if we have a maid.
家のお掃除も誰かがやってくれるんだろうね。
She's making more assumptions.
一人じゃ何もできない。
Here we go again. This ridiculous resentment was not just aimed at me, but anyone with a better life than her. What was the point of hating all those people? Would it change anything about her life? Wouldn't it be more practical if she just tried to change something instead of hating? Maybe that's what she thinks she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you go? She probably would be only more pissed off if this continued, so I decided to change the subject to avoid trouble.
あんたに報告する義務があるとでも？ん？
Not cutting me any slack, she raised her eyebrow provocatively. I sighed helplessly. This was really going nowhere if she kept up with this attitude.
先に食べていて。待たなくっていいよ。
I feel like if she's going anywhere, it probably has to do with her little sister or whoever this little girl is.
Yeah.
Maybe, I guess.
Maybe she did try. I mean, he doesn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, she may have tried.
Yeah. Oh, wonder if there's a Stockholm Syndrome route, is what Sully said.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah.
I feel like it's a possibility.
Only after she spoke did I notice the little girl hadn't moved her chopsticks despite having the bento opened, as though waiting for her big sis to start the meal together. I wonder if there is a Stockholm route. I feel like we're probably going to earn it because we're just going to be so like in the middle to try not to piss anybody off.
Yeah.
We lived happily tied up.
I had dinner already. Don't need to leave me anything. I think she's lying. Like the little girl was waiting to eat the bento with her. Yeah.
She loosened her furrowed brow and patted the little girl's head kindly. There was even a smile on her face. The little girl nodded obediently. Even an outsider like me could tell how close they were. If anything, I couldn't even believe she still had such an expression in her. More questions popped into my mind upon seeing their interaction. With such familiarity, what was their relationship?
Jeez. Unexpectedly loyal, believed her big sis would let me go once she got the money. With her head hung down, she looked a little scared and didn't want to talk. Okay. Close to little girl. What's the relationship? Okay.
The sound of water flowing in the bathroom reminded me that I hadn't taken a shower for 2 days. Still felt uncomfortable even though I'd barely moved or sweat. I was willing to give up half my possessions for a hot shower and pay with my future income for a cup of cocoa as a bonus. The little girl was clearly starved and was quietly and happily eating the rice. She paid no attention to me. Her figure looked extra weak and small from here. I still couldn't believe she could be a kidnapper. What kind of family would allow her to do such a thing? Whatever. Considering my own family, I had no right to criticize others. That's true. The girl left the bathroom holding her hair. She only washed her face since there was no hot water. The light shone on her face, rendering her pale complexion a little more rosy, yet the expression on her face was still cold as ice.
何を見ている?
What are you looking at? She seemingly noticed my gaze and asked me with an eyebrow raised. Nothing, just that I hadn't taken a shower for a while.
ここをホテルとでも思っているのか?
No,
here we
there we
go.
yeah. I would have called customer service, given such quality. Could you have just not said anything? Oh my god.
I mean, she clearly hasn't showered either, though. Like, she
Yeah.
just washed her face, it said, because there's no hot water.
Yeah. Never mind. She snorted with contempt, then walked to the window to lightly shake the little girl's shoulder. The little girl had finished her bento and was falling asleep against the wall, despite her best efforts to stay awake.
眠るならベッドに行きなさい。風邪ひくよ。
There's a bed.
I guess in another room.
She nodded sleepily and climbed into the bed obediently. Not minding all the dust on it, she grabbed the bed sheet and lay down. Maybe she was really tired. It didn't take her long to fall asleep, completely leaving only the sound of steady breathing in the room. The girl walked to the window, opened her bento, and started to eat it quickly. Nothing for me. Tormented by the scent of food, I couldn't help but ask.
Oh, Sully's got to head to bed. Night, Sully. Thanks for...
Oh yeah, Sully. Have a good night. Have a good sleep.
乾パンを食ってろ。
You can just eat the crackers. How about just a cup of coffee? I have money in my bag. Rather than a hot dinner, I preferred some hot coffee to relax my nerves.
上ごとが済んだか?
It's done yet? Yeah. Ugh. I had learned that protesting wouldn't help, and now the headache was even more unbearable without coffee. She looked troubled and was just eating absent-mindedly. I didn't know that was one word. She kept poking the drumstick for what seemed to be no reason. Please stop playing with the food, even if you're not in the mood. I can have it if you have no appetite. I was afraid these were his words. Look,
Yeah.
hunger plus anger made me give the suggestion.
あんたを黙らせる方法を考えているのよ。
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
You think she's contemplating giving him food?
I think she was.
Yeah. Though noticing her darkened look, I decided to keep my mouth shut. Piecing all the hints together, along with her reaction, I could only come up with one conclusion.
This guy's LOL. Or this guy LOL.
I know.
I know. He cannot read a room.
You couldn't reach my dad?
どうしてそれを
Oh, she couldn't reach. She still hasn't been able to reach his dad.
私にカマをかけて
Ah. Realizing she slipped without thinking, her face instantly darkened again. I didn't mean anything, I just thought. Fearing she might lose her temper, I immediately tried to pass off the responsibility. However, she stood up suddenly.
私を見くびってるのか簡単に騙されると
She bit her lip, staring at me with utter hatred, voice colder than ever. Not at all. I'm just guessing, randomly. There must be something wrong, and I doubt the police have found out this soon. Look, Her reaction was far surpassed my expectations. I tried to explain myself, but that didn't stop her walking towards me.
Oh god, she's gonna kill us.
She walked closer and closer with a knife, eyes flashing with hysteria.
Oh god, we're dead.
Was she really going to do this? Now I was really fearing for my life for the first time ever. She looked like a cornered animal that would try anything in desperation. Don't struggle. Before she got the money, she wouldn't kill me. If resistance was futile, I decided to close my eyes and grit my teeth, hoping she wouldn't continue further. I smelled a faint scent and felt her hair on my cheek, plus rapid breathing. It's a romance novel, now. What's that smell? Unbelievably, at this moment of life or death, I was thinking about something this insignificant. Against my skin was a cold sensation. The blade was right before my chest. A simple push would bury it deep into my flesh. Cool art.
Yeah, it
Good
is.
art.
It looks good.
I opened my eyes and saw a look of pure ice right before me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it looks nice.
It does look nice.
私を
Don't lie to
騙そ
me.
うとするな
I swear.
What are we
we're
lying?
not-
What are we lying about?
Just, I mean, he knows his father doesn't care about him. It's pretty reasonable for him to think.
Yeah, he's not clairvoyant, you know.
Yeah,
It's not like
yeah.
he... Yeah. Alright. The voice next to my ear was light, but clear.
言ってやるのは今回限りだから
Okay.
私を見くびっていたら
I believe you.
絶対
We won't look down on you.
Yeah.
Her voice was calm, and the knife steady. She didn't clarify how she would do it, nor did she ask for my confirmation. Yet this threat was more powerful than anything prior. All my words got stuck in my throat. My body was paralyzed to the point I couldn't even blink. She meant it. I could read the emotion in her eyes. That was pure murderous intent. No question about it. She would do it if I did it again.
あんたらにはもうたくさんだやる度胸がないと思わない方がいい
Do you think she's killed anybody before?
I don't think she's killed anybody.
Yeah, I don't either.
最悪でも一緒に死んでやるだけ
Oh,
どうせ
whoa.
私みたいなのは惜しむこともない
So she's prepared to die as well.
Yeah, if it's maybe to secure a future for this girl.
Yeah.
Her little sis. She finished her sentence, moved the knife away, and walked back to the window. Just lay there on the ground, motionlessly. My tense body was still trembling. At that moment, I confirmed something. They could end me at any time. The notion of her not touching me before getting the money, or having some backup plan, meant nothing to them. At this point, she had nothing to lose. I took a deep breath as I faced the window. That's how I calmed myself down since childhood. What I needed to do stayed the same. Nighttime. The desk lamp drew a long shadow from her. What had just occurred still creeped me out a little. However, since she hadn't contacted my family, there was still a chance. I breathed in deeply, gathered the courage, and talked to her.
Nighttime. Yeah.
I have a proposal. She continued to look out the window motionlessly, showing no interest in my question. Let me go now, and all my money is yours. It might not be much, but still, 70 to 80,000 NTD in total, and I swear I will tell no one. Knowing she must be listening, I kept going on my own, even without a response. You can escort me to the ATM if you want to, or do it in any manner you prefer. You want to keep this on the down low, right? Why so insistent? I used my last bit of strength to convince her. Considering her position, I tried to propose something that would be mutually beneficial. I believed no one would risk his or her own life until there was no other choice. Now is still not too late. Think about it. The wait was so long, I thought there was no response, but she finally turned her head. There was no rage in her eyes, only exhaustion.
何をもってあんたは信用
Oh,
できると
okay, a little leeway.
Yeah.
She asked questions. So.
Brand said, I don't know how long is this stream gonna go for, or how much time do you have?
I cannot believe we've been going for 2 hours.
I can't either.
We plan on finishing it.
We plan on finishing it. We don't have to be off until 3 at the latest.
Yeah, so we've got a couple more hours.
Yeah, we got like 2 more hours.
On work days, we'll usually stop stream a little bit early so we can work on a few things, or at least get ready for work. But we mostly got everything ready before, because we do want to finish it in my stream.
And hey, name.
Name, hey, what's up? What's up? Hey. But if for some reason we don't finish it, we'll finish it later.
Yeah, we will
We'll jump
finish
back
it.
on and finish it later.
But we were hoping we'd just be able to finish it before work.
Yeah. Masha
金を
Levy?
くれると警察に通報しないと
Brand said, oh, that's good then.
Yeah. Never call the cops. I don't think you would. I couldn't answer out of hesitation. It's hard to create a situation where both sides could trust each other in the first place. I wouldn't agree to such terms if the roles were reversed.
At least he can see that perspective,
Yeah.
at least.
I would be the one in control once I got my freedom. She wouldn't be able to do anything to stop me from calling the cops.
答えられないでしょだったら黙っ
Ah.
て時間を無駄にしないことね
He didn't think far enough.
No, he didn't plan that out.
I mean, why didn't he consider the fact that she would ask that question?
Yeah.
I mean, she already knows that. She did mention that she wants to, like, start over, basically, right?
Yeah.
So, like, cater towards that, maybe. Rather than handing her fate to me, she'd rather believe in herself. All my gathered confidence grew fainter and fainter, and I was out of ideas, temporarily. Remember, it took me 4 to 5 hours to get my first ending, but I'm a very slow player. And, yeah, and we are reading everything, too, so that may take a little more time. Just wanted to pop by and say hi. Sadly, start working a bit. Us too.
Oh, yes.
Hope you're enjoying the game. We are. We're loving
We
this.
are,
And I
yes.
do recommend it. It's on sale right now on if you're on PC. It's like $6.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was only like $6.
Yeah, it's already worth the money. But thanks for popping in. I really do appreciate
Yeah.
it. We'll be joining the workforce as well soon.
Yeah.
Then what can I do to win your trust? I asked for my last ounce of courage, matching her stare. I could see the fragility under her cold look. She grew silent and started to ponder my question. Then a bitter smile appeared on her face.
わからない
I don't know. She turned to the window and quietly said it again.
私にもわから
I
ない
don't know.
God, now they're really in a dilemma here.
Yeah,
She can't keep him forever.
No.
Like, she can't feed 3 mouths.
yeah, it is a beautiful game. From the art to the music, it really is. And the dialogue, too.
Yeah.
The writing is really good.
Do you want to take a quick standing break?
Yeah, sure, if you want to.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be back in just a couple minutes. We're just going to stand up and whatnot.
I thought you were like, oh, thank God.
Well,
Well, mood is heavy. I must try to do something.
let's take a look around.
We also have chat options.
Yeah, may do that. Looks like the same stuff. She smokes a lot.
I feel like that's mostly to stave off hunger.
Probably. So the clock might be broken.
So it might be...
Calendar, it looks like it has something marked on it.
But we also can't confirm that it's like a current calendar either, per se.
So, what's your relationship? They interacted like siblings, yet their ages weren't even close.
喋る気分じゃない。あんたも黙ってろ。
Okay, she doesn't want to talk. Stay quiet. Oh,
Make her feel guilty.
yeah. I shut up after hearing displeasure in her voice. After what just happened, I had no nerve to make her mad again.
Yeah, observe the cell phone.
Only soldiers or some tech manufacturers still use this kind of antique cell phone. Even old people use smartphones these days. Old phones can't connect to the internet or leave a traceable GPS signal. They can only track location through a phone call. Or you can only track. Is that why she uses it? You have quite the antique phone.
使えればいいの。なんで使わない機能をいっぱいつける必要があるんだ。
We actually went through a phase where we considered getting phones that weren't smartphones.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, we were like, maybe we should just do flip phones again. Let's
Yeah,
just go
just
back
make
to
it
that.
simple.
Yeah.
But it is convenient to be able to access like all your stuff.
Oh,
wherever you
Jedi
are.
said Phantom X kept crashing.
Oh no, that is sad.
Was it you? Or somebody said the Phantom X also was like 70 gigs of memory.
Did
Which is
Sully say that?
maybe so. It
That's
was
how-
kind of nuts too.
It was, yeah.
Like, could you get in the game at all, or would it just like crash before it even really started, like main menu or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the manufacturers need to make money with new products, and the technology is advancing, so I don't think she gives a shit.
あんたにとって必要な機能は
How many of those do you
ど
really
れく
need?
らい
She coldly interrupted me. Rand's gonna go get an old razor.
I want an old
携
razor.
帯
Yeah,
を持っ
it's-
ていない人もいれば必要のない機能を欲しが
There
る人
was
も
a
いる
girl in second grade whose mom gave her her old pink razor in second grade.
Second grade? What the fuck?
which
You're
I
like
know-
8 years old.
I know like toddlers have iPads now, but whenever I was a kid, like you didn't get a phone like when you were a kid. But this girl got like a pink flip phone razor in second
Yeah.
grade, and I was just so jealous. I was like, it's so shiny, it's so cool.
What the hell? I remember when my mom got a cell phone for the first time.
I remember when mine did too. Well, the first I remember, anyways. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like her first cell phone. My parents didn't get them when they first came out either.
Yeah.
You know, like we still used a home phone mostly. But yeah, I remember my parents getting the Nokias that looked like the one on
Yeah.
the table over there.
Like-
Just a warning: Phantom X is a gotcha game. If you plan to play that, yeah, that is true.
Yeah, we have heard that.
Yeah.
8 years old with a phone is crazy. Yeah,
I know.
I don't understand that.
I don't either.
Brain rot at early age.
Like, what do you need it for?
Fancy gimmicks.
同じじゃん貧乏でご飯さえろくに食べられない人もいるの
Some people are starving and some people are picky.
Mm.
And call themselves food critics.
だからあんたたちのことを本
We are
当に
disgusting.
気持ち悪く思える
Okay. So be it. Feeling the deep-rooted hatred in her look, nonchalantly shrugged. So this time, clicking on that particular object, like, did incite some conversation.
Oh, you know that happened when we clicked on the books with the
Yeah,
little girl.
that
I
is true.
forgot about that.
Those things existed before, they exist now, and will continue to exist in the future. We don't choose which part of the world we were born in. We could only struggle in this world with the pre-established rules. The mood is heavy. Let's try to do something. One more action remaining. or
Do
we
you
can
want to try to
rest.
chat since she chatted a little bit?
Maybe,
Like, how much does she know about the kidnapping?
I'll give it a shot. We haven't been really risky at all, so.
No, we haven't.
This person, she said the word Gohan. Oh, that triggered me. Huh, what did you say? How much does she know about the kidnapping? Oh, he just read an ass.
At least it's exactly what we thought he was
Mm-hmm.
saying.
Asked her about the little girl, hoping to learn a little more information.
None of your
None of your
business.
business. Okay, that was a way calmer response than I thought. She brushed me off non-committally, but then after a while followed up with,
Oh.
彼女は関係ない。私が無理やり連れてきた。
forced her to help?
Rain said a little risk every now and then won't hurt anybody.
Yeah. Oh. I was surprised by that answer. I thought she would push the responsibility on her, yet now it sounded like she was protecting her.
He did assume that she would, like, leave her responsible for whatever punishment came.
Yeah. We're in an interesting relationship.
She really seems to trust you.
She seems to really trust you. She stared at me, biting her lips, but her internal turmoil was clear.
その子は何も知らない。
Okay, we got an answer. She knows nothing. Little girl curled up in the bed, holding the bed sheet tightly. She didn't seem to be at peace, even at night. The girl sighed lightly and then turned to me to emphasize her point
こ
again.
の子は私が無理やり連れてきた。全部私の意思でやったことよ。
Okay.
Okay, so I think she wants to make sure that if this goes bad, the little girl is okay.
Yeah. She repeated herself as though scared of involving the little girl. I got it. I replied, perfunctorily? I have not heard that word ever. I replied perfunctorily, knowing that that wasn't the truth. There was no way for her to be this obedient if she was forced, let alone defending her big sis. It was getting late, and I couldn't find a way to change the situation. Instead of escaping or waiting for the ransom, the safest option was to convince her to let me go. Things could still get resolved without much incident. It wouldn't be this easy once the police got involved. But how? Even though I could tell she had hesitated, I couldn't win her trust. So I had to win her trust first. A sudden vibration broke the silence. She looked at the phone screen, then jolted a little, as though being electrocuted. She lowered her eyes and read the message. She raised the corner of her mouth, but didn't appear to be that happy. What is it? I had a bad feeling and instantly asked.
10分後には電話が来る。帰りたければ、親父に金を出させろ。
Okay, so his dad's about to call?
In 10 minutes.
The unexpected change of events instantly froze my blood. This was way too soon. I was naive to think I still had time to convince her. The moment she reached my family, there was no turning back. The police would start taking action, the family preparing the ransom and the culprit preparing the escape. What now? I quickly went through all the possibilities in my mind, but couldn't come up with a solution. I must not stop thinking. There must be a way. Time passed second by second. I had no time to hesitate.
Oh god, here's a choice.
Here's a choice. How do we go?
There's gonna be a choice.
It's the money you want, right? Is there really no other way? Out of options, I gave it my all and just yelled at her. Not giving her a chance to contemplate, I continued after a quick pause. Let me go and you can have all my money. I'll promise you my silence too. Think about it. Do you really think you can get the money this easily? Are you okay with just playing hide and seek for the rest of your life? I couldn't finish my words. Seeing her expression, I realized that was it. This is the last thing we see. Under the nightlight, she looked almost like a dream, too empty and transparent to be touched. That smile couldn't hide the helplessness and regret in her eyes, silence and immense sadness.
もうとっくに戻れなくなって
No turning back. Her voice was calm, surprisingly. There was no anger or accusation, only concession in that expression. She surrendered to her hopeless life. Nothing was more convincing than that expression. So even she could express such hopelessness.
ずっと昔から
No turning back since a long time ago.
Rain said, actually, wait, never mind. This is my favorite song for sure.
Oh.
Every 10 minutes, Rain's like, this one's my favorite.
That's how you know it's a good ST.
The whole
OST.
thing is beautiful, the way it builds. Yeah. Oh god, here's the phone call.
Seeing her pick up the phone, I couldn't say anything. Should have known. The moment the phone... Sorry, I got caught up listening to the music.
Yeah.
The moment the phone rang... Nay, from the very beginning. She had no other choice but this. Under the serene moonlight, the cog wheel started to spin faster. So a new day? The girl opened the phone. The screen flashed. The time, 3 a.m. There's only steady breathing in the room. The boy couldn't resist the desire to sleep after all. It's the money you want, right? Is there really no other way? Remembering his words, the determination in his eyes surpassed her expectations. Perhaps he wasn't as useless as she thought.
Okay, so maybe she is turning around.
There was no regret in her decision, only a vague note of ironic sadness. Never until this moment had anyone cared what she wanted, trying to convince her not to break the law. No more, one should take responsibility for one's life, or don't keep asking someone to help you. There was no return. Either she would get the money and pay the debt, or get arrested instead. The girl raised her head and looked into the starry sky, standing next to the window like a statue. The stars sparkled like her unsettled mind. Finally, she breathed out quietly.
最悪でも一緒に死んでやるだけ
To just die with him? The quiet voice of the girl evaporated in the room along with the cigarette smoke.
Thinking.
Gap between us. I'll save.
Yeah, save. Do a hard save, yeah. Frankie's had his face in the fountain. His face
His
is wet.
entire face is wet because he doesn't know how to drink water.
Yeah.
So cold. I opened my eyes in a daze. From outside of the window, the sunlight splattered across the floor. But even that wasn't enough to remove the gloominess in the room. I tried to stretch...
Nice. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I tried to stretch my body. The sunlight failed to dissipate the cold, and the freezing air made me shudder. Day 3. I was getting used to the room's moldy smell, but the night was still too cold to sleep properly. Do you have any guesses how many days it will be? I don't know.
Oh, no.
A Darkrai put 5 days in my head, but I wonder if it's going to be a week. You know what I
wonder
mean?
if it will be a week, yeah. I think maybe a week.
At the very, very beginning, I was like, 3 days.
That's what
I
I
don't
was
know
thinking.
why, just like
kidnapping 3 days. Like,
Video
you
game
cops.
number 3.
Oh, yeah, video game number 3, yeah.
Yeah. My stomach burned from starvation. Not only did I feel worse physically, but mentally as well. After letting me prove my identity through the call, she took the phone outside to prevent me from listening to their conversation. About 10 minutes later, she returned and lit a cigarette. The smoke permeated the air. There was no way for me to know what they had discussed, and all my questions got no response. Father's voice through the phone sounded plain, as always.
He doesn't give a shit.
He was more skeptical than nervous. Even after a few questions, he still didn't believe I was kidnapped. I tried to tell him my status, but the phone got taken away before he could make any sense of it. Maybe he couldn't even recognize his own son.
That is true, if they never talk.
Yeah. I laughed ironically, despite my chest being burdened by unease. So what now? Facing the gray ceiling, I tried to figure something out.
Yeah, Darkrai made a good point. Oh, wait, go ahead. Try to communicate. Communicate! Darkrai said, seems like 5 at the rate the game is going on, seems like the halfway point is right now.
It feels like a good halfway
It does,
point.
like the fact that he made contact with his father.
I mustn't give up. Rather than taking the risk to escape, I should try to convince them. After hanging out with them during the past few days, I'd learned that they weren't that difficult to communicate with. I just hoped it wasn't just an illusion. I looked around the room and found the little girl sitting next to the wall, surrounded by books from God knows where. The big sis was gone. Based on the door sounds I heard, she probably left around early morning. What time is it? I asked her. She poked her head out from behind the book. This question should be fine for her to answer, right? 7. So early. I never expected time to pass this slowly, especially when I used to be able to sleep until noon and skip breakfast. I was so bored that I even felt bewildered by the situation. They say time connects with emotion. Time under happiness flies, while time under pain lasts forever. There was this sci-fi novel that I read before. I couldn't recall most of the details, but one specific part left quite an impression. It was a nation with a special punishment. They paralyzed criminals' bodies, but kept their consciousness intact. Then the criminals were left in the cell. All they could do was think.
Oh, geez.
Think through eternity. Without connection with the outside world. I wonder if it's referencing a real book.
Yeah, I wonder.
Because it sounds very familiar, but I don't know. With life support, they could still breathe, but only breathe. I finally understood what that intriguing concept would feel like after experiencing it myself. When you couldn't move your limbs, pain and hunger stood out like a sore thumb. All my attempts to break free failed, and the knot was still tight as ever. Who knew rope could be this durable? There was counterfeit butter and pudding in the market, yet the rope was still this sturdy. The government really should award this sort of top-notch manufacturing. A train of thought only led to another headache. Along with my sore throat, could it be that I caught a cold? Should I reserve my energy or try to talk to her?
Talk to her.
I hesitated a little, but decided to talk to her. Maybe 5 days. It'd be funny if it was 5 with a secret 6th or 7th night, FNAF style.
Oh, wow.
That would be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
I mean, it seems like it's got some secrets
Yeah.
and multiple endings. Aren't you afraid?
何が
Of what? Of the cops coming for you. Facing my question, she stared at me in silence. It took her a while to respond.
捕まるの
Would they? Oh, I
Oh,
guess she
God.
just hasn't really considered getting in trouble.
And then we're like, just kidding, never mind, don't
Yeah.
tell your sister.
She asked me quietly, "What do you think? Kidnapping someone plus asking for ransom? If that wouldn't get the police's attention, I don't know what would."
私たちだってこんなこ
We.
とをしたくはないもん
Mhm. She's completely in
一
this
生
of
懸
her
命
own
頑張った
like
もん
desire.
Yeah, we don't want to do this. We have tried our best.
Rand says, I mean, who knows, maybe you could have died on day one. I believe that, honestly. If you, like, a lot of the times whenever you could have struggled or just, like, let...
Just be completely irrational
Yeah,
and
yeah.
get killed.
I feel like it could have ended in death.
Same here.
他の人たちは姉ちゃんにもっとひどいことをしてたのに
Worse things to Big Sis?
Oh, jeez.
Like what? She turned her head away and didn't answer. The conversation seemed to depress her. It took quite a while before I heard her behind the books.
怖いけど
She's scared.
姉ちゃんが手伝ってって言うなら手伝
She'll do anything for her sister.
Yeah.
If you want to help her, you should let me go. I lost my chance to say this upon seeing her expression, pressing her lips to suppress her fear. Whatever. I shouldn't push too hard on the subject. There we go. I convinced myself with an excuse, not fully certain why I decided to stop there. After that, she didn't speak, and only indulged herself in the book silently. Anything to eat? I tried to chat with her on different subjects, hoping to figure out some intel. She rustled around and took out half a steamed bun, then placed it next to me, quietly. Crackers first, now steamed buns? They were all cheap foods with long shelf life, yet lacked in appetizing value. The outside was dry like an air-dried tangerine skin. It was quite hard to chew, and I could barely taste anything in my mouth. Swallowed it down with water and started to miss the American brunch from a few days ago. The craving made me sigh in despair.
そんなにまずい？
Is it that bad? Yeah, it would be much better if there was a fried egg with pepper. Jesus.
Okay, come on, read the room. She's like, what?
She never even had an egg. Look at her.
Look at
She
her.
doesn't know what an egg is.
Eggs are expensive.
She stared at me, surprised, and only opened her mouth a little while later.
お料理できるの？
How to cook?
They probably don't even have a way to cook food.
Yeah,
Here.
he was surprised the water even worked here. Sort of, just simple stuff. Always had some simple ingredients ready since I lived alone. If I was lazy, I just cooked some instant noodles plus a fried egg and called it a meal. Most of the time, I just put everything from the fridge into the crock pot. I didn't really care as long as they were cooked and filling. What, is it strange? Seeing her hesitation there, I asked.
あなたたちならご
Oh,
飯を作ってくれる人がいて、
she thought he would
毎
have
日部屋に届けてくれると思ったんだ。
someone preparing all of his meals.
Oh, but really, he's just like, yeah.
Yeah, like a butler, yeah. You've watched way too many soap operas. She probably hasn't watched fucking anything.
Yeah.
I didn't stay in a hotel with that kind of service or anything. My breakfast is usually just a sandwich, bread, or onigiri from the breakfast shop, like regular folks.
そう。
Oh.
Yeah. And
Yep.
really, like, his dad is rich. He's,
That's true. That is, yeah,
you
if
know,
you want to
like,
get technical.
if you want to get technical, his dad is rich. He's not.
I see what you
necessarily-
mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, not saying, like, obviously his upbringing was a lot different, but
But yeah, I get what you mean.
yeah, yeah. He's
Realize-
always had basic necessities, but not necessarily, like, just rolling in lavish lifestyle.
Yeah. Realizing how mundane my breakfast was, she responded disappointedly. Did she think of me as some playboy millionaire from a movie who spent all day long in bars to hook up with chicks?
じゃあお茶会を開くの？
Tea parties? Right before I could explain myself, she threw me another ridiculous question. Tea parties?
I actually really like this conversation so far. We're
Yeah.
just, like, answering her, like, curiosity.
I repeated the words and confirmed that I didn't hear wrong upon seeing her nodding. Okay, so if my ears still function, I didn't misunderstand her. She was referring to a traditional British afternoon tea. Like those things with 3 layers from top. You had sandwiches, scones, and cakes. You tasted them in that order, too. Taste aside, that just sounded like a giant pain in the ass. Never tried it. I didn't even hear of it that often.
お金持ちは人をい
Rand
っ
says
ぱい
she's
お家に招
adorable. I
待
love
して
this conversation too.
Yeah, it's
飲み
cute.
物とお茶をたくさん振る舞うって雑誌に
Oh,
読ん
in a
でたの。
magazine. That's where she's been
Reading all this, yeah. Right. I know what tea party means.
じゃあお茶会は開
So
か
no
ない
tea
の？
party for you? Nope. Ignoring her curious look, I replied without hesitation.
なんで？
Why? Making tea and buying cake is a ton of work, and you have to clean up the mess after inviting people over. Too much trouble. I didn't even talk to my family much, so the whole idea of us having a happy afternoon tea time was just
準
unimaginable.
備してくれる人がいないの？
Nope, nobody prepares it. No one hired someone just to make tea. For this sort of luxury stuff, wouldn't it be more convenient to have it in some cafe? She quietly lowered her head as though pondering my words. Do you by chance think my house is some fancy mansion with many servants and all I need to do is ring a bell?
She's
Yeah, it looks like it, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I was just kidding, but based on her reaction, I was right. I live by myself in a 300 square foot condo. I do my own laundry and cleaning, plus chasing the garbage truck to throw away the trash from time to time.
でも
But aren't you rich? My dad is, not me, just like you were saying.
Okay, yeah.
It might make no difference for them, but I corrected her nonetheless. Also, being rich and being wasteful are 2 different things. One should do things by oneself, if possible.
なんで
Why? Why what? The quiet girl started to talk and asked me question after question with much curiosity. Unlike her big sis, there was no hatred or mockery in her eyes, just pure curiosity.
私がお金持ちだったらきっと大きな家に住んでお掃除とお料理する人をいっぱい雇う
She wants all those things.
Mm-hmm.
Is that so? For me, I just needed a place big enough to live. I didn't even have that many friends, so what was the point in all these fancy desires? Besides, the bigger the house, the harder to clean. Hiring someone to do it would be an extra expense. There's no point in troubling myself like that. If they did everything... Oh, shit. If they did everything for you, then what would you do? She just thinks she's not really considered.
Yeah.
She stumbled slightly upon my question. Clearly, it had never crossed her mind before.
ゆっくり休んで
Oh, she's telling us to rest? Rest forever? Oh, sorry, I got lost.
Oh, I did
yeah,
too. I know what you... Yeah. She was saying rest.
She would just rest if she's not doing all that stuff. If you have everything done for you, you will become nothing but a useless waste of space. She tried to explain, but lowered her head like a wrecking ball.
わかんない
I don't know. Suddenly, I understood the source of all these deep-rooted enmities. False imagination. For them, I enjoyed a comfortable life with no effort, while they got trapped in poverty despite their best efforts. Envy and depression accumulated and eventually turned into anger and hatred. False imagination came from all the rumors and media portrayal, picturing the rich as people crashing into others while drunk or high after having crazy parties. At the end of the day, the media just wanted provocative news. A fancy car killing someone was always more marketable than a cheap-ass one causing it. Integrity has nothing to do with wealth. There's no lack of rich people leading a rather simple life. Just never see them in the news. They do whatever they can to produce things people want to see. Public media code of integrity? Doesn't mean jack shit in the audience-driven era. What about the truth? Neither the journalists nor the audience care. We see what we want to see. It's all true. Despite knowing this full well, we still choose not to resist it. So, what now? Let's look around and see if anything's changed. Though it doesn't really look like it.
Cigarettes.
Yeah, lots of cigarette butts on the ground. And her stuff is gone. You think this is the bed?
I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe. Let's see what I can ask.
Yeah.
Well, lots of stuff. Who are you? What do you picture me as? Where'd your big sis go? You really believe in her? I'll start with this. What do you think? You really believe in her?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to look at the calendar too, though. It doesn't seem like it's going to be of any use.
Yeah.
You really believe in her? She's not a bad person. Oh, sorry, I skipped her dialogue.
Oh, it's okay.
She nodded without hesitation, not realizing she was the one locking me up here. If that didn't count as a bad person, then the standard was just way too loose.
本当に何もしないからお金をもらったらあなたを解放するって
This girl will be traumatized if her sister does harm us.
I feel like she's gonna be traumatized either way.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Not the first time I heard it from her, but I still didn't know where that confidence came from.
約束してくれたんだから
She promised me.
Promise me?
Oh, Frankie.
Oh. Do you just believe in anything she says? I asked in disbelief, even though she was still young. Such blind trust was far too ridiculous. Not harming me? Where do you think I got all these injuries? By accidentally hurting myself? She stared at me with pressed lips, but couldn't deny my words. It was fair.
Mm-hmm.
It's fair. Okay. Maybe we'll get punished for that later. Should I click on anything?
You could look at the calendar like you mentioned you wanted to. Oh.
Shit. It is useless. Date stopped at August 30th, 1999. This is the date the original owner left the place, and it must have been 15 years old. No wonder it looks this miserable, or rather, it's kind of a miracle for this place to even still be standing after so many years without any sort of maintenance. So what now?
I think he's trying to get your cord.
Oh, I feel his little claws on my leg.
He's like, give it back, please.
I'm gonna talk to her again.
Yeah, let's talk to her. What do you picture me as?
Okay. I agree. What do you picture me as? Having no idea how much they misunderstood, I couldn't help but ask. Her answer was surprisingly simple.
お金持ち
A rich person? Remembering all the past conversations, I sighed helplessly. I think you must have quite a misunderstanding about rich people. Rich people aren't all bad people. She looked at me silently, not really believing me.
Try to judge for yourself.
I don't know what news you've seen or what your big sis has told you that makes you think all rich people are bad, but what have I actually done? Do you think everything she said is true? Try to judge for yourself with your own eyes. I tried to convince her subtly. If she could understand, then perhaps I could get out of here without much risk.
私にはわからない
I don't know. She refused my glance and didn't want to hear more from me. I sighed lightly. If I couldn't change her mind now, then I had to wait for another chance. In the end, I made no progress. She didn't know what was going on, nor was she willing to contact her big sis for me. I felt horrible. My fluctuating body temperature confirmed my theory. That and the muscle soreness indicated a fever. Shit. Getting sick now, of all times, I couldn't even stay awake, let alone escape. The girl was reading a book next to the wall, having no clue about all the ideas floating in my head. She was by herself with the knife only a few steps away. My hands were still tied up, but I could still move them a little. I could call her over, knocking her out, and cut the rope loose. A sense of unease surfaced, along with all sorts of possibilities in my mind. What if she dodged it? What if the door was blocked? Could there be someone else? I didn't see much of a chance to succeed, nor did I have any idea where to start. I also might end up hurting her accidentally. She didn't seem to know what she was doing, nor had she actually threatened me. I should avoid violence against her unless I had no choice. I made up my mind and started to think of other options.
稲野
Big sis? Huh? What? Hearing the girl's voice, I came back to my senses and realized she was staring at me. All sorts of ridiculous ideas intertwined in my brain. I shouldn't make any rush decisions with this messy
お
mind.
姉ちゃんのことが嫌いなの
Oh, do we hate her? Why would... who would like their kidnapper? It's not like I had Stockholm Syndrome. I wanted to reply like that, but I kept it down. It didn't matter what I thought. I just had to come up with a response that would make her drop her guard based on what she wanted to hear. Saying that I like her might be too much, so should I reply with, I don't like her? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. She just looked at me after my response. Silence spread across the air like a wall between us. I don't really know her, so I can't say if I like her or hate her.
そっか姉ちゃんは悪い人じゃない本当だよ
She hugged her knees, as though trying to convince herself. The quiet voice seemed to lack some confidence.
借金を早く返したいだけ本当はこんなことをした
She's
く
being
ない
way more open about this.
Yeah, I think she's really just now considering what all is going on
Yeah.
because of their conversation.
Like she's feeling guilty, probably.
The girl's eyes under her bangs were as clear as a lake surface, void of any deceit. She never suspected her sister of any other motive or simply using her. After all this, she still chose to believe in Big Sis and tried to defend her. Why? Seeing her desperation, I only felt emptiness.
姉ちゃんが頑張って稼いでもあの人たちに毎日毎日お金を取られていく。姉ちゃんが借りたお金じゃないのに。
They kept coming to her for more?
Do you think they're like loan sharks or something?
Maybe.
Or like for her dad's death. She said it was her dad that died and left her a bunch of debt, or one of her parents did. How does that even happen though? Like a family member pass away, how does someone else get left with their debt?
It happens.
Yeah, I know. I just like, I don't know.
It's scummy. But
It
that's
is.
just how, not all debt is forgiven when someone dies. It's passed on.
Yeah, which just doesn't
depending
make
on what it
sense
is.
because like that person didn't like she was a kid probably when that happened. Like she didn't
Right.
ask for the debt.
She was still murmuring her explanation, yet it annoyed me like tinnitus next to my brain.
Rain said seeing her opening up is nice. Yeah.
It is. Even though she genuinely wanted to persuade me, even though her big sis might have her reasons, I felt nothing. She might not realize, but I just didn't care. I wanted to escape and return back to my normal life. I didn't care if this big sis was a good or bad person, nor had a miserable past. Why she committed this crime had nothing to do with me. Seeing her serious expression, I opened my mouth, but swallowed my words eventually. I sighed lightly. I couldn't tell if I envied her naiveness or hated my cold heart. This game's very honest.
It is.
What now? Observe. I always like to take a look around.
Yeah.
Is that like a jacket or something?
It looks like it's maybe our jacket and backpack right there.
Okay. Okay. But I still like to see what we can ask first.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd your big sis go? What do you think? Think maybe?
Mm-hmm. Maybe, yeah. I also would like to ask her why me. If we
Okay.
see what she says.
知らない。
Don't know. I tried to start a conversation. Still made no progress. Don't you care at all?
見張ってなさいって言われたの。
The girl calmly lowered her head as though living in her own world without one bit of anxiety or guilt as a criminal. Are you afraid?
何が？
Afraid of what? Of being found out by the cops? What if she escapes by herself?
Being found out by the cop. I don't think her sister would leave her.
I don't either. What if the cops find you?
Sorry.
It's okay. What if the cops find you? Saying, I don't know, won't cut it. She pressed her lips and said nothing. There was some hesitation in her expression when she stared at me. With how advanced technology has become, there are surveillance cameras everywhere. It's only a matter of time before they find out. No matter how good your big sis is, she won't be able to protect you by that point.
私は
She tried to open her mouth, but paused a little, and then swallowed the words. Give it some thought. It seemed like she did care, but just somehow suppressed her anxiety. Compared to her big sis's stubbornness, she might let me go if I pressured her more. So what now? Do you think so?
I don't know. I mean, maybe, but I don't know.
Okay, you wanted me to ask, why me?
Yeah.
Why me?
どういう意味？
What do you mean? There are many rich people out there to kidnap. Why me in particular? Wouldn't a little kid be easier to target? I still didn't know why they picked me. If I could figure that out, maybe I could guess the culprit's identity.
知らない。姉ちゃんに見張りなさいって言われた
Wow,
だ
she
け。
really is in the dark here.
Mm-hmm. Inquire, yeah.
So this was all planned by that big sis?
違う。
Oh!
Here it is.
Mr. Ken!
Mr. Ken.
Ken from Persona 3, that little bastard. That little bastard.
Hinamata.
That little fox. She tried to defend her big sis, but shut up and immediately upon realizing she shouldn't say anything more.
What if his dad got him kidnapped? So he could die or something and then get his life insurance or something.
I don't know. I had no recollection of that name. Did they really pick a target at random? Or was there another culprit and that guy was the only point of contact?
Oh no, not Ken.
Oh yes, Ken. It is Ken.
What if, okay, this is a wild theory. What if his mom and her boyfriend got him kidnapped so that they could get money from his father
And then break away?
and then run away or something? Like run off together.
Are you're trying to find some meaning in that opening?
Yeah, I'm trying to find some meaning why they put so much emphasis on his... Like, we know his mom was, like, not around, but, like, they put emphasis on her running around with someone else.
If that is his mom at the beginning.
If that is his mom, yeah.
That's not, I mean, that's the only assumption I have of who that was for now, though.
Yeah.
That Mr. Ken you just mentioned. And she's like, oh, I did bad. I did bad.
I did bad.
I did bad. I'm sorry. Big sis.
I tried to trick her, but failed. Hang your head, she answered unhappily. Her voice was as cold as her gaze. Okay, I think we have one more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't want to die from a cold. Maybe we can get our jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a shot.
Yeah.
Without my coat, all I have is this thermal shirt, which is far from sufficient in this weather. I have to keep myself warm to rest. I can't conserve my energy without sleep. Can you bring me that coat? I'm a little cold. She turned her gaze to the coat, but only shook her head, unmoved. No. I just want to keep warm. It would be troublesome for you if I got sick, right? Oh. She hesitated, but handed me the blanket on the bed after seeing I wasn't lying. Here you go. Thank you. Don't run away.
Okay.
Hearing the almost pleading tone for a split second, I didn't know how to respond. It wasn't like I had a choice. What was she thinking about? Regardless, I could finally rest nicely. Okay,
Oh,
we ended
good.
up getting
We
more
finally
stamina
Yeah.
because of the blanket. That helped. Because I started to think like, oh shit, what if you get sick and die?
I know, and then, like, you just, like, die of fever.
Yeah. My cloudy consciousness gradually cleared. It looked like I fell asleep without noticing. The sky outside of the window was dyed crimson. The freezing wind brushing against my cheek made me tremble. I didn't know how long I had slept, but my body showed no signs of recovering. The rope cut into my flesh like ant bites. My struggling out of annoyance only led to torn skin. What time is it? 5. The girl was at the same spot, quiet like a delicate porcelain doll. Probably because that's the only thing to do to keep up with the time.
Exactly.
Because that's all you'll tell me, right? Knowing the time wouldn't change anything, but the sense of cluelessness was just unbearable. Shit, my head hurt. She was not a good conversation partner, but I tried anyway to keep myself awake.
Rand says, LOL, achievement unlocked, death by fever. Nobody wins.
Yeah. If you buy me a coffee, I can give you all the money I have. Yeah, he's really fiending for the coffee.
Yeah, he is.
A heavy head made me say the most random of things like a drunk man. Oh, that is true. Exhaustion. Making like coffee. She raised her head and stared at me with curiosity. That big sis would have to shut me up. But she at least chatted with me, here and there. Nothing is more pleasant than drinking coffee in this weather. Well, except a hot bath. Too bitter?
Oh, she doesn't like coffee, yeah.
You learn how to enjoy it. Different coffee beans have different tastes. How you prepare it is also a factor. Filter drip isn't real coffee at all. Only pour-over coffee can bring out the fragrance. There is something wrong with those latte lovers. Only proper coffee is black coffee. May as well just drink milk. I don't think she gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Hearing all my critiques, she made a comment. Maybe she does give a fuck.
おしゃべりさんだね。
You really like to talk. Do you have a better alternative? Facing my question, she started to contemplate seriously.
ちゃんと
Sleep?
寝る？
She spoke timidly, as though fearing that I would scold her. Great idea. Please let me know how to just sleep with my hands tied and my body hungry and cold.
Oh god, he's got the cough now.
I started coughing before I could respond. I didn't even have the strength to joke around. If this kept up, I would cough myself to death before they killed me. Living like this was worse than death. I recalled this line from a book and found it super fitting. The girl stared at me for a while, then came over carefully with a knife. Don't you worry. I couldn't resist even if you were empty-handed. Ignore my mockery. She partly squatted before me, then I felt her slightly cold touch.
熱が出てる。
I have a fever. Yep. We're sick. Just let me learn. Thanks for telling me.
Just let me rest, I guess.
Just let me rest. Not wanting to waste more energy, I sighed tiredly and closed my eyes. I heard the sound of her stepping back and felt her glance at me with worry. Our stamina's all the way up.
Oh, that's good.
The night of day 3.
I don't like coffee much. Definitely not as much as him. Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
For him to be mumbling about it while he's like half dead.
Yeah. There was the sound of the bike's motor outside the window. Oh, she's back. The girl raised her head sharply and ran out to welcome her big sis. I had no idea where she'd been. The girl's hair was still messy and she held plastic bags from a convenience store in her hands.
ただいま。何も起こっていない。
Is everything alright?
Nice, full stamina. Yeah. For us to not use at all, because we're gonna stay.
The little girl worriedly explained the status of my body. The big sis frowned upon hearing it.
大丈夫。なんとかするから、食事にしなさい。
How's she gonna take care of it?
Yeah, she's like, I'll take care of it. Gets out her knife.
After calmly patting her little sister's head and asking her to take the plastic bags, the girl coldly looked down on me.
今度はなんだ
What's wrong with you now? Who knows? Food poisoning, maybe? Oh, not wanting to show my weakness before her, I gathered my strength to reply.
I guess that was his way of being funny since he's starving.
Yeah.
冗談を言う元気があれば、
Oh,
それほど
great.
渋滞でもないようだな。
The smell of cigarettes from her made me dizzy. She covered my forehead with the back of her hand, and then checked my body temperature in a much rougher way than the little girl.
繊細すぎないかお坊ちゃま。ちょっと風に当たったくらいで。
Can't take some wind? Don't you know I'm delicate? Remain silent. Not wanting to waste more energy, I just quietly watched her examining the rope. She forcefully pulled it, making the rope bite directly into my flesh. You should care more about me spreading disease than escaping.
あんたらみたいな温室育ちであるまいし、風邪くらいなんともない。熱が出ても出勤しないといけないんだ。休んだら次の日にクビになってもおかしく
So
ない。
she's been at work.
That's where she goes. That's why the
Okay.
little girl's watching us.
そんな気持ちはわからないだろうね。お坊ちゃまには。
I wonder if he does have a job. Or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, he goes to cram school. That's all we know about.
True. I had no idea, nor did I give a fuck. I didn't pick the job for you, so what was the point of complaining about that to me? It was hard to keep your emotions under control when you felt horrible. I decided to change the subject to avoid an argument. Did my dad pay?
金が手に入ってたら、あんたをとどめてどうする？ここに縛っていて楽しいとでも？
Yeah, the dad seems like he really just doesn't give a fuck.
No.
Do you think I like tying you up? I don't know if you dislike it. They did make contact yesterday, so they should have been discussing the details for the ransom. Ignoring her provocation, I forced myself to focus on the intel at hand. Common ways were money transfer or cash in the bag. However, money transfers could be traced and physical cash was difficult to arrange. I heard some kidnappings use Bitcoin or other virtual currency instead, more secure and flexible than cash. Even a high schooler with a bat could kidnap someone. The question was how to get out of the situation.
くだらないことを考える暇があるなら体力を大事にして休んでいろ。気絶しても医者を探してくるほどお人よしじゃないんだからね。
He's toast.
He's toast.
He's cooked. He's fucking cooked. Thanks for the heads up. She had a point. I shouldn't find more things to torture myself with outside of just my body. I tried to lean back and let the wall take some of the weight. This was a more comfortable pose than what I had in the past few days. But it only made me feel just a tiny little bit better. Far from having a good rest.
姉ちゃん、これ全部食べていいの？
All these? Oh, food. The girl took out all kinds of food from the bag. Bread, cookies, and steaming hot oden. The smell only made my headache worse.
もう食べたからどんどん食べなさい。
You think she's eating?
I don't think she's eating.
She replied softly, treating her in a totally different manner. Hey, is it one thing? It's one thing to not share your food, but of all the foods you could pick. Little girl stopped moving her chopsticks and looked at her sister with a pleading expression, as though asking her what to do.
フェアなことじゃないか？あんたらがごちそうを食べてるとき、私たちは即席ラーメンだ。それに、こういう安い食べ物じゃ、どうせお眼鏡に
He
かなわない
literally
んだ。
told the little girl what
He
he
did,
eats regularly. It's like,
Instant ramen and an egg.
yeah.
What the hell? Hearing her nonsensical accusation, I was too exhausted to retort.
何？文句があったら言い返して。
Nani? I've had enough. The fierce headache took away the last of my patience. Her provoking expression finally made me lose control of my emotions. Oh, fuck.
Uh-oh.
Fuck, what the hell?
Oh, it's over. You got fever because of checking that game poster.
Oh my god, that's actually funny as fuck.
That's funny.
Right. I'm the rich boy who lives in a giant mansion, rinses my mouth with expensive wine, and has dozens of maids and butlers. A snap of my fingers and someone will bring me whatever I want. I smash the plate on the ground after 2 bites, and then whine about what kind of crap this is. Someone drives me to school every single day. I have LV bags and Rolex watches. All my accessories from top to bottom cost millions of Taiwan dollars. And your poor ass can never even afford one of them.
Oof.
How's that? Is that what you have in mind?
Ooh, we're gonna die.
There was no thought behind the words, just my accumulated rage and frustration coming out like a flood.
And she knows he's not driven to school because she kidnapped him on his way back from school.
Yeah.
You know?
Time to lose some fucking stamina. And she knows his address, so she knows he's not living in a mansion.
No, he lives in an apartment. Yeah.
I was tired of this conversation. There was no middle ground. They forced their imaginative perception on me and totally ignored what they had seen. You don't know shit about me, nor do you give a fuck. From the very beginning, you have decided to hate me just because I live a better life than you. All rich people should die. All of them are trash, and they can't help themselves from running over people with their fancy cars, right? So cut the bullshit. If you don't know anything... The blood all rushed to my head. I was close to passing out from the headache, but yelled at the top of my lungs anyways. The room echoed with my sound. The little girl curled up next to the wall with a scared expression as though I wasn't tied up.
何を勘違いしているの？
Oh
no.
Rage, pure rage! Her eyes flashed with raging fire, and she yelled back at me with equal force. Unlike the weakness the little girl showed, the big sis stood up forcefully.
ご飯もろくに食えないことがある？夜はどこに泊まるのかを心配したことがある？ 毎日借金取りが家に来る気持ちはわかる。
Maybe they'll come to an understanding
Maybe
because
so.
of
この
this.
ことが分かっていないだと。じゃあ私の何が分かるんだ。言ってみなさいよ。
The voice acting here? Yeah. I was waiting for
あ
it.
んたらが学校に行っている間に私たちは何をやっているか知ってる？あんたらが眠っている間に私たちは何をやっているか知ってる？
The music is good too.
It is.
だからあんたらが嫌いなのよ。何の資格があってそんな暮らしができるんだ。なんで恥じずにそんなことが言えるんだ。私たちがどうなっても気にはならない。どうせあんたらと関係ないことだと。
Yes, it isn't. I didn't care what would happen to me. I just wanted to vent all my frustration from my chest. So, should I feel guilty for Siberian refugees? Feel responsible for ISIS? Give me a break. Why should I feel responsible for your life? Why should I kneel before you and apologize? I have nothing to do with your poverty. Ay, ay, ay.
私のせいでもないんだ。
Her raised fist smashed against the wall. The girl's roar was mixed with sobbing. Her voice echoed through the room. Everything seemed to stop at that moment. I feel like if she wanted to kill him, this wouldn't be he would be dead right now.
Yeah,
you know what I
she
mean?
wouldn't be
She wouldn't be,
talking
because
back,
even
yeah.
though they're yelling, it is a conversation.
They're at least communicating.
Yeah. Her face was twisted with rage, with lips turned blood red from biting. I could also see her hand trembling.
私はこんな真似を喜んでやっているとでも、いい暮らしがしたくないとでも。私だって金を持った家に生まれたかったんだよ、畜生が。どうして何もせずに贅沢な暮らしができる人間がいるんだ。なぜ私はこんな生活に耐えなければならないんだ。
Well, considering this situation, being born with a silver spoon might get you kidnapped.
Yeah.
Facing the girl's emotional accusations, I couldn't respond immediately. It was neither of our faults. It wasn't even about any individual, but something that was decided before our birth. Very true. No reason, no explanation. The world is just not fair. Remembering what she said before, I repeated it. Hearing that, the girl burst into laughter. Oh. It sounded relaxed, yet mocking. A mysterious, crazy laughter.
そう、世の中はもともと不公平だ。だったらこのクソったれの世の中に何があっても不平が言えないんだろ。
Not able to find any words, I averted my gaze. He's gonna die. He's got black lungs.
he's got whooping cough.
What whooping cough? The hell's that?
I don't know. I think it's something animals can get actually.
You said I don't know and then explained it.
Well, I don't know for certain.
It sounds made up.
It might be.
But what do you mean? Where does it come from then?
I don't know where I've heard of it.
Oh, okay.
Let me look it up.
If you want to. Good luck spelling it. Exhaustion took over me once I calmed down. I could barely talk when I leaned against the wall weakly.
Oh, it's a highly contagious respiratory tract infection, easily preventable by a vaccine.
Whooping cough.
I think something kids would get.
I've never heard of it.
Severe cough, sometimes ending in a whoop sound when inhaling. Like when you inhale, you're like, "Ugh," like that kind of thing.
Okay.
I don't know where I heard that from, though.
I don't know. I have no idea. Chill. Someone might call the cops if you yell this loud. Maybe they're calming down. She looked at me over the shoulder, then clicked her tongue unhappily.
黙った方が身のためよ。私だって死
Dying
にそうな
person.
病人を殴りたくはないんだからね。
How nice of you. I said half jokingly, feeling much more relaxed after releasing all my pent-up thoughts.
He got TB. He has one day at most. Oh, God.
I couldn't focus my eyes anymore, enduring my fluctuating body. temperature, I powerlessly closed my eyes. There was only everlasting loneliness in the darkness. Tired. Cold. How much longer before this was over? Would I be free if I just gave up? Could I just let it all go and sleep forever? That's what I would be thinking at this point.
暑い。
Hot? Oh, is she checking his fever? I wonder.
Maybe.
Amidst the cloudiness, an icy cold hand covered my forehead. I had no strength to open my eyes and could only identify the speakers from their voices.
情けないやつめ。たかが風くらいでこの様か。
She's in denial.
I think she's doing all this front to where she doesn't feel bad
Yeah.
for what she's
yeah,
doing.
for sure. I agree with that.
She has to stay cold so she doesn't feel guilt.
Yeah, she doesn't feel attached to the situation at all.
Yeah, that scene was definitely one of my favorites. I don't think it's my favorite one, but
Oh,
but
interesting.
It's such a good moment.
No,
Yeah,
I felt the energy in it too.
I did too, and the
Like-
music really complimented it.
Like whenever I was reading it, I was starting to get angry. Like it
know.
just, it had, yeah, felt good.
Yeah.
Easy for you to say. I deserve some credit for remaining sane after being kidnapped and treated like this.
姉ちゃん。
Couldn't help but agree a bit.
At least the younger girl has some sympathy for us.
Yeah. Hearing the mumbling from the little girl, I realized how my senses became sharper after I closed my eyes. Even the air temperature felt extra vivid. There was another hand on my forehead, along with the scent of a cigarette.
人はそう簡単に死なないよ。
Takes more than that to kill someone. Would you know? Despite her words, there was doubt in her voice. It took a while before I heard her voice again.
彼を見ていて。ちょ
Oh,
っと出かけてくるから。
think she's gonna go get meds?
Maybe.
Maybe.
We have money in our bag. I don't know why, like, they don't take that to get something.
But isn't that interesting?
That is, yeah, it is.
They
yeah.
don't do that?
That they don't, yeah.
Suddenly felt a weight on my body, a soft cotton blanket held in my body heat, making it feel much warmer. I could sense the girl next to me with her gaze, and maybe even her breathing. My eyes were closed, but I felt her gaze. No, it was probably just my imagination. I couldn't connect the broken thoughts in my mind. I passed out again. Oh, you're back.
This is that woman we saw at the beginning.
Mommy needs to head. Yeah, there you go. Mommy needs to head out and take care of something. So, have dinner without me. You can eat whatever you like. Lies. If Daddy calls, just tell him I'm in class, okay? Liar. Be a good boy, okay? The laughter of an unknown man, hurried footsteps, and the sound of an engine starting. This is in color now. After
Yeah.
removing my shoes, I found myself in an empty living room. I lay down on the sofa. My mind was blank while I stared at the hanging chandelier. I realized now that the house was too big, so huge that it made me feel lonely. Just a glimpse. Oh! Back at the scene of the crime, there was no one in the dark alleyway. The cold moonlight shined upon the fenced construction site. The criminals always returned to the scene of the crime, a foolish notion, but there was no exception. One couldn't bear the self-doubt, even when ignoring others' gazes. Was there any evidence left behind? Had the cops started taking action? The girl took a deep breath while lighting up a cigarette. The heavy scent permeated her nose, but wasn't enough to erase the unease. Is this where he... Oh yeah, this was the shortcut.
Yeah,
he
that she
took. Yeah.
kidnapped him.
She took out a newly bought cold medicine from her pocket. She wasn't sure why she did that. She didn't care about that boy's survival. She didn't even intend to let him leave there alive. Okay. It was only now that she realized murdering someone was not easy.
Oh,
So she's
God.
never killed before.
Yeah.
He was no longer just a thing. Once you talked to and touched him, he was a living person. It was time to head back. She decided not to think further. She also hadn't slept properly for days now, just relying on nicotine and alcohol. But she had to keep going. For the ideal life she and her only family deserved. Oh, day 4 missed. And this is probably
Oh.
where we have to save and stop it. Because it's almost 3.
Rats. Yeah, we will have to stop it here because I don't think we'll have time to do.
You know what,
The next
though? I'm
chapter.
glad it's not over.
I'm glad it's not
I don't know.
over.
I'm just
too,
saying I'm glad it's not
actually.
over. I did want to get, like, it would have been nice to have it in one stream. That, but I didn't even, so that goes to show, I didn't even look up, like, it on how long to beat. I was just,
Yeah.
like, trying to go in as blind as possible. I feel like it's going to have a high payoff, though. Like, it's
I
building
do
up.
too. Maybe we like plug the ending of this before Persona stream or something.
I thought about that. We might finish it tomorrow before Persona, or we might do. We got to play Star Invaders on the 8th.
Yeah.
Or we might could put it on the 9th.
Yeah.
Either
yeah.
way, we'll put it in our upcoming streams for this coming week.
Yeah, we will. I just don't want to like get to the point where we're like in the middle of it and we're like, oh my god, we have to go to work. I don't want to have to like cut it off in a bad spot.
For me, yeah. And I don't want to take too much time from playing it. Like I want
Yeah,
it, you know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
like
I wanna
want it to
enjoy
be
it.
next.
Yeah.
Hey, Rand, thanks for
Great
suggesting
recommend.
this. Yeah.
Oh my god, this is really good. You saved
I did save, right?
day 4.
I'm
Go
gonna
back to save.
I'm just gonna make sure. Yeah, chapter 4. 228. That's the time now. Or, you know,
Yes, it was. Okay.
Yeah.
We're so paranoid about saving. Yes, we're enjoying it. Oh, and Darkrai's really enjoying this one too.
It's so
We're gonna
good.
finish this and the next time we stream it.
Yeah, I think we have enough time to post an upcoming stream before we go to work.
I
So
think so, too.
be on the lookout for that. So yeah, maybe tomorrow along with Persona, but we'll see.
We'll figure something out for sure to fit it in there.
But yeah, we're gonna get ready for work now. But see y'all next time. Thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Yeah, as always.
Of
Give us
course.
a like if you can spare it.
If you could spare it, please. A like. Just one like, mister.
Mister.
Mister, just one like.
I don't know. Do you think she obviously had no intention of him getting out alive?
No, she never wanted. That's why she didn't care for him to see her face from the very beginning. I think.
Do you think we will get out of this, all 3 of us alive?
Hope so.
I don't think so, but I
don't-
hope so.
I don't think so
I
either,
think-
but I hope so.
As long as I have the controller, I'm gonna fuck something up. But that's my goal, is to kind of like make this
Everyone
work.
lives.
I even want, like, if there's an ending where they could all 3 happily live together and say, "Fuck the parents,
Fuck the
screw
parents.
them,
Fuck society.
We're gonna-
we're
yeah.
gonna be fine.
we're gonna stop poverty." I don't know.
Yeah.
The idealist ending. Let's see.
Yeah, I hope so. Or I'll just cry at the end if someone dies, anyways.
Yeah.
But
Anyways, we'll see y'all next time.
thanks.
Thanks for joining us.
again.
Have a good day. Have a good night. Sleep.